Hello, hello. 'Tis I. Boom. Let's see if that music stops. It has. Is this coming through? Excuse me. Damn, I know you're. Yeah, I know you're injured. That's why I asked it. It is just your normal state to be injured. I'm just checking my. Oh, it is coming through. Yeah. I couldn't tell if my mic was coming through for a second, and my normal monitor of it wasn't working for a second. I've had some fun. I'm slightly late today because I had a couple of things go wrong. I was slightly late starting getting ready, and then the computer I used to monitor the stream to make sure it's up and running stopped working, which is quel ironique. And then the game needed an update as well. You're getting your cast off tomorrow. Oh, nice. I bet you that feels good. I bet you it feels good because fortunately, I've never had to have a cast myself. Well, I've broken multiple things, but there were things that you don't cast. So I broke my nose, and I broke my toe, my whole foot basically. I shattered my foot. But you can't really put a cast on a foot. No, Penny, yeah, because the people I've known that've had them, so they go all itchy and sweaty underneath. It's like basically your skin acts like it's been in the bath forever. So it goes all wrinkly and weird and then it itches. I would freaking hate that. That would do my nut. So yeah, you're lucky. I've known people like they get those long ass back scratches or like a chopstick or something like that and run it down inside the cast and scratch it. It's sweaty and shit, ton of dead skin. Ooh, gross. My son had to wear one for a while. My son is, I don't know if he's a freaking badass or just not there. He broke his arm some years ago. And it wasn't a problem for him. He wasn't really bothered. He just wanted to go home and have dinner. We took him to the hospital. Oh, crikey, I've said that loud. We took him to the hospital, and the staff were like, "How's your arm?" And they squeezed it, and he goes, "Oh, it's fine." And they're like, but you flinched. It doesn't seem fine." He goes, "No, it's fine. I just want to go home and have dinner." And they x-rayed it, and it was broken. So he just didn't give a shit. He just wanted his dinner. He used the handle of a spatula. Yeah, exactly. Like something long and thin that you can stuff down inside. It would genuinely wind me the hell up if I had cast on. I'm so glad I haven't. I've done enough things. I've spent my whole childhood, well, much of my life, injuring myself or nearly dying in multiple ways. But I've never had to stay. So far, I used to be able to say I've never had a night in hospital, but during COVID, I had a massive allergic reaction. It wasn't COVID, but I had an allergic reaction. And so I had to stay overnight once for one night just to make sure I stayed breathing. They thought breathing was quite important and wanted me to carry on doing it. So I had one night in hospital. But other than that, yeah, never really anything. Which is surprising to me more than anyone, given the number of things I've done to myself. I'm trying to get the volume right for this now. I brought my dinner. The thing is, like, my son, he likes my cooking. Whenever he comes over to visit, I cook his favourite food as well. Peanut butter! Peanut butter! So I'm either cooking him, like, spaghetti and meatballs is one of his favourites, or homemade burgers. I do pizzas. I do all sorts of stuff that I make for him from scratch, and he likes it when it's made from scratch. And so he's been looking forward all day to coming around to his dad's house to get a proper cooked dinner. And so when he had this accident in the playground, he was like, "No, this is just inconvenient. I've got my plans. Dinner is my plan." All that gold, but spaghetti ball of nails. Spaghetti meatball. I had my own recipe for spaghetti meatballs, and the trick to a nice moist and not overly sort of like some beef can taste a bit too like liver almost. If you're making spaghetti and meatballs, make your meatballs out of half beef mince, half pork mince. That's my secret. You do that, it takes the edge off the overly beefy flavour, so it's not too like kind of a bitter beefy flavour. I'm going to die because I'm not looking at the game. But it also means the pork keeps it moist. And like I say, that's one of his favourites. We got the meatball, and I make my own sauce for it as well and everything. And so I use a passata base and make my own sauce for it. My secret is coolant. If you're someone I don't like, you just put in some battery acid in. Oh, delicious. No, that's why he likes my cooking. Is I always make sure I do it in a way like it's proper home cooked. It's not like out of a packet. What have you? I forgot this area's been like taken over by hell. It's a hell tide. So I was coming here, I'm still farming the Mother's Train, I think it's called. But in this area, there's a Helltide as well, which makes it even more dangerous. And I'm just like nonchalantly come running down here. Forgot the fact that it was like a extra dangerous area. Now I'm stuck. Get off. The game is loud, is it? Right, I'll turn that down. I'll have to turn it down when I've stopped fighting, because if I take my fingers off the buttons now, I am going to die. No, thank you for telling me. I need the feedback. Once this fella's dead, I can do it. One of those games is just so busy that if I try and do the volume now, I'm literally just going to be dead. I'm almost dead now. Ah! Hey, dead him. Whoa! It's got immediately very hairy. I wasn't expecting this level of gameplay the moment I started playing. It's just people and things happening everywhere. No, I'm gonna die. What the hell? I did die. Well, at least that gives me a moment to turn the game down. This one. There we go. Game's gone down a bit. You have no enemy heads. Tell you what, whilst Kaz isn't here to steal them all, I can give out the points. Boom. There you go. It's when Kaz gets here that he just steals all your points then. Well, that calmed down pretty quickly. So is the game sound better now? I've tweaked it down a bit. I'm going to be I can speak English, I promise. I'm going to be redoing my setup soon.
Time and time again, you parade in front of us with these Jackanory stories. This time, justice must be
swift and severe. About as loud. Yeah, that's really helpful then when I'm trying to set the actual volume to tell me the game's as loud as my mum. Yeah, I was going to say it'd be the same computer and everything, but I'm getting a new microphone and mixer. This mixer's like basically I used to have a nice mixer and that died, and I replaced it with a cheap mixer because I didn't have the cash to get another nice one, and then that died, and I replaced that with an even cheaper mixer because as the attendance to my stream has gone down, so has my ability to fund it basically. Gradually less and less people turning up means I've had less and less support, and my stream I entirely fund it from people turning up basically and helping out. And so what I've currently got is a really shit mixer that was like very cheap and just about does the job. But I am fortunately getting donated to me a slightly a new mixer and microphone setup to try and improve what I've got going on. I say my stream, excuse me, I've got a tickly throat today, entirely thrives on things that I've been given basically. Something went wrong. Whoa, is it not working? Here we try it. 1 second. Now it's gone silent. Redeem.
Shit off! This is unbelievable!
Well, maybe it was just a bit of a timing issue or something. I don't know. The bot's just decided, screw you. You don't get to do stuff. How many things did I pick up, by the way? I've just picked up a bunch of crap. Look. I'm not even where I'm supposed to be going. This is stuff I've picked up on the way to where I'm going. There you go. That's much quicker. Just murder your way through a crowd. The bot doesn't like you. Well, that sub-command, it was funny, that response. That sub-command's, it was a prototype to, like, you know, if you've seen in Nettie stream her, sorry command and all that sort of stuff. That all came about because of that sub-command. It's an automated response that comes from a website that I wrote. So each time you do the sub-command, it'll give you a different response. Well, not like each time. It's a probability of a set number of them. And so, yeah, it was that code that I trialed on in this stream for that command that ended up going into Netty stream for a couple of other commands. Like, if you run it again now, if I do it, like...
I'm your huckleberry.
It's going to give me the same response. I have started working on making sure... No, it's stuck doing that response. Like, what the hell? I wonder if there's a connection between the bot problem. I think the bot's just responding the same response. Looks like the bot's having an issue. But yeah, what it's supposed to do is go to a website and pull in a new response every time, but I think the bot's having a problem. It doesn't like me. Yeah, no, I think it's genuinely having an issue. We have been having in Britain, we have been having like internet issues. I don't know if you've seen it on Netty stream where she's been having problems. I'm a fair bit further north than her, but it can affect, because the website isn't hosted in the city where I live, basically, so it can affect me when there are other network issues elsewhere in Britain. Boom. Basically, I think my hosting is held down south, if I remember correctly. So if the south of Britain are having an internet issue, the hosting to my site is as well. I have begun work on a more complex version of the code. So it was like quick and simple code. It's PHP. So the bots don't have very complex ways of doing stuff. Basically, you can't really set up like commands with multiple responses and it randomly chooses between them or anything like that. You just basically say this is the command, this is the response. But you can tell the bot that instead of responding from something within the bot website, go to another website and get a response from there, and that's how these work. So what I've done is I've written code on my own hosting and on Netty's hosting that's set up to pull in a random response from those sites. And it was just quick and dirty PHP code, just like it gets the job done, because it was just like a trial and error kind of see what happens kind of thing. But now they're being used and getting popular. I've come up with a methodology for trying to ensure that every time you do it, the response is at least different than last time. So there'll be a set of responses, but there's a problem. So say you got 10 responses in memory, it'll give you one of those 10 probabilistically. But if you've just had a response, there's nothing to stop you getting that response a second time, which can occasionally happen. It's slightly more complex to tell it to remember the last response and not give that same last response twice in a row. But that's what I'm working on now. I'm also trying to set up a back end, like basically turn it into more of a bot looking thing where it's got a login and then ability to add command responses without having to code new command responses.
Shut the fuck up, alright?
Well, thank you, Dylan. So eventually, yeah, it'll be a smarter bot. And anytime I want a new code, a new response, I can just use software I've written to add a response rather than have to sit down and code a new response, which would be much nicer. Then I'll package it and sell it and become famous. Ooh, no, I've no plans to ever package it and sell it. Well, this dungeon. Look how far I've got. Look. Oh, I've missed a bit. I've got to go back there. I've got a lot quicker in a lot shorter time than I was just trying to get to the dungeon through that helltide mess that I just wandered through. You hear the AI bot thingy that did a scan of 1.2 million people on the internet immediately became racist and homophobic, if I heard correctly. It literally just started because it was. The trouble is with AI isn't independently intelligent. It's trained on input. And so it was basically it was basically fed the internet and used that as its model for how it should act. And it just goes to show that the internet must have a fair old chunk of racism and homophobia on it. If an AI fed the internet, it goes, oh, this is how humans are. They're racist and homophobic. Okay, more needs to be done. You're the same that you're just fed the internet, are you? All your responses just come. This is the thing. I should have. I'm going to post this in chat because I can. I should have set up a command for this, right? But I've started a process. Like my streams, as anyone that comes in regularly knows, are basically rants, right? Rants whilst gaming happens. I've decided to formalize my rants. So I'll still do my off-the-cuff ranting that I do on stream, because that's what my stream is. But since I was trained to write on a regular basis during my college and university years, I figured I might as well use that skill set I spent like years developing. I mean, technically, yeah, it would have been about 7 years all in. Because I did history and English and whatever. I did it at school, and then at college, then at university. So I'm like, I've got this skill set. Might as well use it on the internet. So that there, if you follow it, feel free to subscribe. It's free. There is they try and push you paid subscribe links, but ignore those. On the far right, there's a subscribe for free button. I just need some subscribers to try and promote the account, basically. So if you can subscribe for free, it helps my account out. And basically, the sort of rants I give on here, these are going to be more thought out, maybe better evidenced. Not off the cuff, basically. They're going to be reflective rather than just coming off the top of my head. And so I've started my a Substack. That's what that link is in chat. But actually couldn't do anything for the last 6 weeks, so the internet is my best friend at the moment. Seems how my normal best friend won't take one bus to visit you. Nice. Nice! Charming. I mean, the internet is my friend, but if I had a mate... I've had a mate that I've visited him in hospital several times. It's like they can't, when your friend can't move, you make the extra effort because you want the same back. Imagine they become ill now, and you're just like, nah, screw you, I'm not going to visit you. I'll come all the way across the island to visit you. It's a short job. Just get myself a coracle. I go to Wales, get a coracle, row myself across. That'll be cheap. It's been a long time since I've been to Ireland, actually. I went across from Wales. I forgot the name. It was from Fishguard to somewhere in the south, and I've forgotten the name of it now. Damn it. I went to 3 towns in Southern Ireland. What the hell was it called? I know it was Rosslare, Wexford and Waterford. That was it. But that's my only visit to Ireland so far. So I definitely need to go up in the north, and I haven't been to Dublin yet. Definitely need to see that. This is the thing. I've been a member of an organisation that promotes Celtic unity, basically. Being a Celt myself, so I've had ties with Irish, Welsh, Scots, Manx, Cornish, obviously, for years. But I've been to Wales, I've been to Ireland now, I've obviously been to Cornwall. I've still not managed to make it to the Isle of Man or Scotland yet. So they're on the list. I've definitely got to go and visit them. If you come to Dublin, I can be your tour guide. You can't, because you can't leave the house. I'll have to come to Dublin once your leg works again. Then you can be my tour guide. Well, this is right. Do you know what the word you might know, being Irish, but do you know what the word Dublin means? It's funny to me, given the connotations. If you come to Sweden, I won't be your tour guide. Yeah, you'll just stay in the house. You won't even look out the window when I'm like tapping on it, going, "Hey, Denham, let me in." You're like, "Nee." We stood in the snow outside your house. Nee. But yeah, in case you didn't hear, I'm going to answer now anyway. Dublin actually comes from the words Blackpool. It's Duflin. And it just makes me laugh because Blackpool's a well-known holiday. There you go, well-known holiday place up here in England. It's the fault of the Norse, really. The Norse, everywhere they went, they named something Blackpool, which is why Blackpool's named Blackpool and why Dublin's named Blackpool. They just any pool that was a bit dark, they were just like, "That's a black pool. Let's call the place Blackpool." So, could you not think of anything new? Nah, that'll do. Just keep naming everything the same name. That'll be fine. That won't cause any problems. Where are you going this week? Blackpool. Which one? There's 74 of them. Oh. So no, this is the one thing I was surprised about when I went to Southern Ireland. There's been a long alliance between the Cornish and the Irish. Partly based on a mutual dislike of both of our neighbour. not picking on the English, but you know, the reason why the Scots and the French got on well. Yeah, exactly. The reason why the Scots and the French got on really well is they both disliked one particular group, not saying who. They're like, if you hate them and we hate them, let's be friends. Well, when I went to Southern Ireland, I'd already know, like I say, my speciality was Celtic history and archaeology. And so I already knew some of the ties and the links and the old, there's an old play, I'm trying to remember what the name of it now. I keep thinking Troilus Cressida, but I can't remember if that's the one. Where a Cornish princess marries an Irish king. It's basically talking of the time when we had close ties with Ireland. And so I already knew we had close ties with Ireland, but I didn't know how well they'd lasted into the modern day. The first pub I went into in Ireland, on the wall, was just covered in photographs. And like literally 95% of this photograph display was Cornish fisher boats. So there were boats with the Cornish flag on and whatever. I'm like, oh, it actually made me feel slightly at home. I'm like, oh, they actually like the Cornish here. Look, they've got pictures of them all over the wall. They're also, I mean, it's a tricky subject to mention on Twitch, but there's a certain organisation, shall we say, in Ireland, a certain group of people with a grievance which they pressed, who had a similar organisation. Yeah, I'm not saying it out loud. There's another organisation in Cornwall who are linked to them for the same purpose. I suppose I can probably say the name without it being. There's the Cornish National Liberation Army, who were friends of that particular group. And they work together and they help like fund each other and all that sort of stuff. So we've actually had quite close ties in a number of areas. Yeah? I just didn't know, like, you know, like before I went to Ireland, I didn't know, has this persisted? Exactly, I'm going to get myself like kicked off for being a schmerra-schmist, shall we say? For promoting schmerra. But I haven't said anything in promotion of them. I'm literally just saying that they existed. But it's just interesting that there's those ties. It's kind of like a memory of the past. Like for a couple of times in history, the Welsh and the Cornish marched on England together to help each other out. The Welsh attributed to them is the invention of longbows. When they first made longbows, they were made of lamb bones and sinew. At first, so they made compound bows out of getting the scapulae and whatever of lambs, and binding together like a multi-layer binding, and then use the sinews to wrap around it, and they made these long bows. And eventually they realised that they could use yew wood to make good longbows. So the Welsh were credited for inventing them, but the Cornish for a long time were very good archers, to the point where in a lot of British campaigns abroad, like when we went to Fort France and whatever, the English king would hire Cornish archers to take with him, because they were just naturally good archers, basically. And so whenever the Welsh wanted to march on England, they would ask the Cornish to come along. The Welsh would supply infantry, and the Cornish would bring their archers as backup, basically. So we've had a long history of like working alongside the other Celts. It didn't always work out for the best. Like, I still, and this is not a denigration of Wales, I still love Wales, I love the Welsh people, they're awesome, they're wacky in the best possible way. But twice when Britain helped out Wales, when Cornwall helped out Wales in a sort of mutual agreement, like if we help you, you help us, the Welsh have marched into England with us, got what they wanted, and as soon as they got what they wanted, they just left, leaving the Cornish not to get what they wanted. Which was nice, very kind of them. Oh, this is really... I hate having to leave stuff behind. We're leaving England, at least. Like, this is the one thing, right? It kind of winds me up. I get why people do this, but it's a result of not really understanding geography. So, firstly, people say, like, Great Britain, what's so great about it? And this one's... I've ranted about this before. Great Britain is a geographical term. It means the big one. It means great as in large, not as in these people are awesome. because Brittany in northern France means Little Britain, and the British Isles are made up of about, I think it's around 6,000 islands. It's at least, no, it was about at least 3,000. And 600 of them are inhabitable. And so if you think of Britain, Britain's the biggest inhabitable island in all of the hundreds of inhabitable islands that are the British Isles, and that's why it's the big one, Great Britain. But also, Britain is the island, and there are countries on it. So England and Britain are not synonymous. And particularly, our North American friends seem to mix this up. This is how stingy I mean. I'm going to come back for these gloves. So you can't leave Britain. The Cornish can't leave Britain. The Welsh can't leave Britain, and the Scots can't leave Britain, because Britain is the landmass. It's the island we're on. They would literally have to cut off their piece of land and somehow row away from the rest of the landmass. You can leave the United Kingdom, because United Kingdom is a political organisation, and you can differentiate yourself from the English, because the English is one of those countries. You build a wall. Well, have you not heard of Hadrian's Wall? They've tried that. So yeah, you can't just like I'm leaving Britain. Then it's like you can't. It's physically attached. You don't want any of this trash. Yeah, get rid of that. So yeah, the United Kingdom was brought about through multiple disagreements, shall we say, armed disagreements. But the island of Britain is just a landmass. So when people say I'm not British, what they mean is I don't like the idea of being associated with England, or I don't like the idea of being associated with the former empire. And the answer really, without being rude, is tough. It's tough, because if you live on the island of Britain, you are British. And if you don't like the fact that the British had an empire, tough. We can't go back in time and un-empire. We can't, like, edit history. We've had a few, exactly, I was putting it politely, we've had a few disagreements. You can't go back in time and undo the British Empire. Also, and this is more controversial, the whole default... Oh, I missed a bit there. The whole default disliking of the British Empire usually means that someone doesn't actually know anything about the British Empire. They don't know their history. The British Empire did bad things. Every empire has. The British Empire did good things. And there are plenty of empires. We're not the only people who have an empire. So if you want a nuanced discussion on is Britain's empire overall a force for good or evil, that's a discussion. But to just go by default, it was British Empire equal bad. It means you don't know anything about the empire, basically. Every country has a dodgy past. It's just ours is pretty recent. Well, yeah, I mean, ours is pretty recent. If you don't pay attention to... Right, I'm gonna try and use careful words. I don't know how much I'm likely to get myself banned by what I say. I don't think there's enough people paying attention to probably ban me, but I still am being careful. So I think everyone will understand what I mean by the term. Well, fuck it, I'm gonna say the word. Britain, the British Empire, ended legal slavery for the world. That's one of the most recent things we've done. We spent 100 years doing it, and we spent a quarter of our GDP doing it. It took us 100 years to pay off that debt. So that means up until 2015, which is during my working lifetime, anyone paying taxes in Britain were at least in part paying to end slavery, because it took us that long to pay off the bill we ran up ending slavery. So when people go, oh, the British Empire, what have they ever done? We ended global slavery. That doesn't excuse the fact that we also were part of global slavery in the first place. But it does mean that what did Britain do bad? They supported global slavery. What did Britain do good? They ended it. You've got to take both sides, you know? Yeah, the Irish... I mean, part of what the island can genuinely say against the empire is that the first involuntary workers, as I often euphemize it, but slaves, I've said the word now, if I'm going to get banned, I'm going to get banned, that went to America were Irish. The British sent the Irish to America as slaves, which is terrible, but I'm telling you the history. I'm not saying I support the idea. I'm just saying this is what actually happened. I don't support the idea. As I've already said, being a Celt myself and having studied the Celts, I'm pro-Celt, so I'm obviously not going to go, yeah, that was fun. I don't think it should have happened, but it did happen, and we can't get rid of it. We can't hide it. And and it behooves us to pay attention to our history, because then you learn from history. If you hide history, you don't learn from it. You can repeat mistakes if you don't acknowledge your mistakes. So we go, that was a mistake, remember it, teach it in school. Why? Because we don't want to make that mistake again. Don't go, oh no, that's terrible, never talk about it. Well, if you don't talk about it, we'll make the mistake again. No, tell people about it. You know? We're probably not even the biggest slavers in history. Oh, we're definitely not. We're definitely not. Just statistically alone, the slave trade going to the east was bigger than the slave trade going to the west. And every nation had them. And again, in case anyone's listening that wants this to be a reason to cancel me, I am definitely against the concept of slavery. I'm not saying it was a good thing. I'm just saying the truth is it was ubiquitous. It was so normal at that point in history, which is disgusting and it's bad, but it had been so normal for literally thousands of years that's why it took a movement like like came forward in Britain and then eventually in France and America to end it, because people had to convince other people, wait, no, this isn't good. Oh, well, yeah, but we've always done this. Yeah, but it isn't good. You've got to stop doing it. They literally had to tell them, actually, no, if you think about it, this is a terrible thing. And it had to be brought to people's attention how bad it was, because it was just, this is normal. We do it all the time. But it was common, yeah. And likewise, I know there's a mix. The history, and this is why I did that. This is why I wrote that Substack, because I mention it in that. History is way too nuanced. Anyone that gives you a simple answer of history, like if you say to someone, why did Rome fall? And if their answer is, oh, because of the lead pipes that they got their drinking water from, and that's the end of their argument, don't listen to anything else they have to say. Because that is so unnuanced and so basically wrong by dint of just missing out the majority of the information. It's not worth listening to that person, because what they're basically telling you is, I'm going to come to as simple an answer as I can, basically.
You know, that's just like...
your opinion, man.
Your opinion, man.
History is way too complex and nuanced for a simple answer like, because X is evil, or because Y is good. Because, this happened, this one thing happened, and that set this entire path in motion. It's like, no. Whenever you look at a nation and their actions in history, you got to look at who their friends were, who their enemies were, who their friends' enemies were. So sometimes you go to war with people you have no problem with because your ally doesn't like them. Who did they get their food from? Who did they get their trade from? Who are they sending trade to? All of those things are really important. And what's their recent history? Like, do they owe anything to anyone? Did someone defend them recently that they now owe allegiance to? All those things have to come into it. You can't just go because of this one idea I had this one time. But I've got to get some sleep. I'm up early in the morning, so gotta love and enjoy the stream. Well, thanks for being it, and enjoy having that cast taken off. Hopefully you finally be able to wash your leg. It's going to be grim. You're going to basically molt like a snake. You're going to have a spare leg just peel off under that cast. Try and spend like 1 week in your life where you don't injure yourself or get ill. You'll enjoy it, I promise. Your main hobby is getting injured or ill. So, yeah, what I was going to say, so when it comes to India, for example, India is a very complex topic. It's very nuanced. You can't answer it with one thing. What happened in India? Britain bad. Well, sorry, then you're too stupid for me to talk to. We went over there in the first place to end like eons-long warring between multiple factions. We were literally asked to go over there to end the warring that was happening in the area. If Britain bad is the answer, then why the hell did we go over there and end the war? And why did we then introduce education, a legal system, medicine, water sanitation, all those things we introduced were evil, so we improved the country no end. What evil bastards we are. Did bad things happen? Of course. They always do. Try and find a piece of history where bad shit didn't happen. So this is why it's why I started my Substack. Because I very regularly see people oversimplifying literally everything, and it just makes me think you're either stupid or you're doing this on purpose. You either don't want to know, or you've got an ulterior motive for saying the things you're saying, because history is never as simple as that man bad, that place good. So anytime I come up with an idea of like someone said something stupid, I'll still rant about it on my stream, but I'm gonna rant about it on my Substack now as well. Go! How's it going, Bosco? It's just if everyone and their dog is like the current thing, right? The current thing that's going around on Twitter. Churchill was terrible. No, he fucking wasn't. But that's the thing. It is normally because it fits an agenda, and that's history, right? History can be interpreted. You can go, well, in our modern eyes, doing X was a bad thing. It can't be edited. You can't go back and change history. It's too late. It happened. In recent years, there's been this push to edit history to what we would have preferred to have happened, and it's like it's not. You can do that with Star Wars. It ruins it, but you can do it with Star Wars. You can go and retro the story of Star Wars and go, actually, Han Solo did this and Leia did that. Because it's a story that someone made up. And I hate it when people retro change stuff, but you can do that. It's a story. History isn't just a story you made up. Jumping out now, off to bed. Are you off to bed? Are you? Well, thanks for popping in. Well, that's the nuance I'm talking about. Churchill, like when they talk about the what happened in India with the famine, Churchill did the best he could to end that famine or to prevent it. And if you look into what he actually did, he did way more than most people would have bothered doing because he actually cared. He actually was trying to save people's lives, but he's now getting pulled to pieces on Twitter. For basically failing to save more lives in a situation where it's surrounded by an enemy. I mean, the whole reason why he couldn't get grain to India is because most of the land mass around the area where the famine was happening was occupied by Japan. It's like, what do you want him to do? He single-handedly fight off the entire Japanese Empire. Go out there with his fists and start punching them. So it's this wanton retelling. Churchill, how's it going, Kaz? It's wanton retelling of history or editing of it. To go, I don't like the way history was. I'm now saying it was like this. You don't get to do that. You can't change history. It isn't a script. It isn't Star Wars canon. It actually happened. You can't change the things that actually happened. It's probably part of the main reasons why he managed to win the war. Oh, definitely. Without Churchill standing up for it, because he had to convince Britain even. He had to convince Britain to fight against the Germans. So without Churchill seeing what was going to happen, we would have joined the war too late. We would be part of the German Empire right now, basically. The whole reason why the Russians... I mean, it was largely the Russians that defeated the Germans, but the whole reason why they managed to is because only 70% of the German forces were sent to Russia, because the other 30% were still fighting Britain. If he had sent 100% to Russia, because he'd already taken over Britain or we'd already sided with them or something like that, then that wouldn't have been ended. The Russians would have lost, and we would have already been lost at that point, and we live in a very different present right now if the Germans had succeeded in what they were trying to do. I think, like all of the Commonwealth, all of modernity owes Churchill at least some adulation. Like you can say that he did some bad things, but that's true because he was a man of his time. I'm not excusing him, but I'm saying at that time in history, people did speak of each other in different ways and did treat each other in different ways, and we're trying to better ourselves now. But to call him wholesale evil for saving the whole fucking world from the Germans is just ridiculous. It literally means that the person saying it, in my eyes, as soon as someone says that, I'm saying, well, you don't know history, then you clearly haven't studied it. Either that or you've studied a very edited version, and you don't get to edit history. And that time it wasn't deemed to be bad, and that's the point. Well, this is the thing, right? This is one of the things I said, like, I'll post it again in a second when I've got fingers free. In a slightly more formal way, and it's going to be more common. I actually wrote about what I think about how history is being treated on Substack. I was just saying earlier, there's a free tier to that. So it opens Substack, like any other company, will immediately take you to an area where it says subscribe, and it will put a fee on the screen. But you don't have to pay that. On the far right of the far right, ironic. So you've got the left, middle, and the right of those banners. There's a free tier. So if you want to read what I've written, that's like I'm basically trying to formalize and tie down my thoughts on the subject. So I wrote an essay on history, on why why it matters, and why you can't just play with history like it's a toy. It's not a script. It's not a sport. It's a record of what happened in the past, and it's very important to keep that record accurate. The moment you have a record where you've smoothed it over to make it sound nice, or the worse, you've just said everything that happened in the past was terrible and everything we're doing is correct, then you've lost that introspection and you lost the ability to prevent yourself from making those mistakes again. I definitely don't want the mistakes of the past, particularly the most heinous ones that we all know about, to be repeated through the lazy-mindedness of the present. People can't be asked to go and verify facts on it anymore, so they just drink down anything they get told. And it's like, well, then you are going to be easy. You're going to be gullible. You're going to be very easy to lie to because you're just going to believe whatever you're told and not bother checking it. And that's a very dangerous state to be in. If people just hear something, half the time they read a headline and they don't even read the article, and the article doesn't state any sources. So I've seen it multiple times recently where there's been an article claiming something historical is a historical fact, and there's no sources, so it could just literally have been pulled out of the journalist but that moment. They could have just come up with it off the top of their head for the feels of it. Then half the people that read it only read the headline anyway. The headlines are often intensely provocative because they're trying to get you to read it, because it matters to how much they get paid as a website or as an organisation. How many eyes they get on that article makes a difference to them. And so they'll write something intentionally inflammatory to make you look at it. And if you only read the inflammatory bit that was basically the advert for the article, you're not going to know what the article says. You're just going to know the intentionally inflammatory bit. Like I might say I really wanted people to read that document I've written on history there that I just posted in chat. I've just called it On History because I'm not very good at marketing, because I don't like boasting or lying to people. If I called it All History is Fake, Change My Mind, I'm way more likely to get people reading it because they're going to, what is it? Is it really? And they're going to want to see what I've had to say because now it's inflammatory. But I didn't feel like doing that, so I didn't do that. The fact of the matter is, I gave it what would probably be considered a boring title, and may lead to it not being read, because I didn't want to lie to people in the headline and then have them rush off and go, "Oh, I read this article that said all history's fake," and use that in their, like when they're talking to people, like, "Oh, you can't tell me that happened. Why? Because all history's fake. I saw it online this time." That's what happens. People are not nuanced enough and don't pay enough attention to what the actual article would have said. So they rush off with the headline in their or the title in their head. In the future, they'll probably look at us and think we're mad for adding fluoride to our water, drinking and eating out of plastic, etc. Because at those point we'll know these crazy. Well, they are literally causing us issues. There's I forgot where it was now. There's a place in the world, and I've forgotten which country it was, where they've got a shortage of estrogen for HRT. And so they've worked out there, and this is kind of ingenious in some sense, but it adds to your point in a roundabout way. They've worked out if you take the bags that you get your shopping in, the carrier bags, and boil them, you eventually end up, if you obviously take the plastic out when you're finished, with water that's quite estrous. Which means there's a lot of estrogen or estrogen-like chemicals in the plastic that goes to make up the bags and stuff we carry our shopping in. Now that means for them that in a place where you can't get hold of the hormones that you need for HRT, they're basically effectively manufacturing their own or distilling their own from plastic. That means that anyone else that doesn't want to take those hormones and they're carrying food home in plastic, they get a food in a plastic tub that you put in a plastic bag, then you put it in the fridge and you wrap it in cling film. Like, hang on, are we also taking in these levels of estrous substances then? Because if you can literally make HRT drugs out of boiling this plastic, and I'm getting microplastics in my body, and I've got them in my fridge, and I'm drinking water out of them, hang on a sec. Suddenly makes you panic about what's going on. Oh, you're reading the one on Substack, you mean? Yeah, weird. How similar that guy is to you, yeah. But no, it is worrying, the fact that like the whole fluoride thing, that, you know, the way it can affect you, and we've been told for years that it's safe, and it turns out, well, actually it's not that good for you. It is in small amounts. You need it in small amounts, but you don't need it in twice or 3 times the stated safe dose. Basically everything you eat and drink is become dangerous, and you should just sit at home and try and be a plant, basically. Just drink rainwater and photosynthesize. There you go. That's my health plan for everybody in chat. If it goes wrong, you won't complain because you'll be dead. So, you know, I'm safe saying it. Every single one in chat died, so they couldn't complain about it. Oof! I keep getting new trousers or like skirts and stuff that are better than the ones I'm wearing in principle, but they haven't got the cool chain lightning effects the ones I'm wearing. What I need is a higher... See, these are level 40 now, and I'm level 84. What I need is a pair of these that are much higher level, and I'm still working on, like, grinding towards that. I've not found them yet. But let's get out of this dungeon. Zoom. Yeah, they're finding plastic in humans. They found fluoride-impaired brain development. Yep, the hormones in food and drink is making people sick. The problem is that these decisions aren't reversible that easily. No, they're not. I mean, there's been a rise in male breast cancer as well. And I've saw it, and it's been a while, so I wouldn't be able to pass you the document to kind of prove this. It's been a while that they've realised that the increase in the amount of estrogen is actually giving men more breast tissue. And this estrogen's in our water, it's in our plastics, all that sort of stuff. And that breast tissue is then getting breast cancer. So it's got a double knock-on effect, basically. Firstly, men don't particularly want moobs. And secondly, if they got moobs, they definitely don't want them to have cancer in it. Rise in female testicular cancer too, but that might be for other reasons. True. you are trying to get me banned on Twitch. But no, it's just... It's bizarre. It's bizarre what we've done to, because they found out, right? I know you're going to be shocked, but one of the best ways of trapping carbon that's in the atmosphere and producing oxygen whilst taking in CO2 is this recent invention. It's this tall brown thing with green stuff on top we call a tree, and it turns out that trees are really good at regulating the atmosphere, and if you chop down all your trees, you have problems with your climate, and if you don't chop them down, or if you replant them, they can fix problems with your climate. I know, it's a surprise. It's a surprise to me. Why on earth would the very obvious be true? It's like, of course. We've spent decades going, like, you've got to save the trees. We've had whole campaigns, save the trees. Why do you want to save the trees? They regulate the planets. They're the lungs of the planet. Okay. And now finally someone's gone, hang on a sec. Turns out, if you save the trees, they regulate the planet. No shit! You know what's even better at controlling carbon than trees? No, tell me. Oh, I'm headbutting this microphone for some reason. Algae. Oh yeah, algae. But that's you'd have to have like vast tracts of it. It's one of the plans for colonizing Mars. Actually, was to start off with algae because it would produce natural atmosphere. It'd take a long time to do it, but if you could get like a high percentage of the surface of Mars covered in algae, it would produce enough breathable gases eventually over time that it would actually help in colonizing the place. It would be a long period though. Some country that might be related to mine are cutting a lot of trees to an extent that they're cutting rare trees that are older than some countries. Yeah, I mean, that's always a shame. When a tree's lasted 1,000 years and a country that's been around for like a few hundred goes, yeah, we'll cut that one down. It's like, hey, that was here first. Calm the fuck down. Well, this is difficult. Do I want to swap to this helmet? I don't really need much more resistances, but I'm looking at the +4 mana per second. It doesn't have the life though. No, I quite like having +72 life per second because that keeps me alive in those dungeons. What about this one? This is lightning, but it doesn't have the mana. I mean, the armor amount is probably not big enough to get rid of the mana regeneration. Same here. Let's get rid of all these orange ones. Yeah, very few of them are actually an improvement. Not sure about the ring. What about the dress? Good boost to life, but it doesn't have any of the electrical capabilities. You can look up pictures. Oh, I will do after. I can't look them up on stream. Eventually, I'll remember it and set up some sort of viewable browser for the stream, so I'll be able to talk about stuff and bring it up, and people will be able to look at it during the stream. But I still haven't done so. So I've still, the keyboard to my streaming computer is still balanced on the arm of a chair to my right, so I still haven't got enough desk space to actually put it down. That's another thing I'm working on, basically. Makes it a lot harder to look up websites for stream if I'm balancing the keyboard on an arm, is what I'm trying to say. We also destroyed algae by polluting our water. Well, yeah, exactly. I got what you meant there. It's the same process. But yeah, algae. The area because the thickness of algae versus the land, the area it takes up. One of the benefits of trees is they're effectively multi-tiered. Unless you can grow algae on trees, that'd be interesting. Like you can have a layer of algae, and it can only be like a X amount of inches thick before the bottom of the algae is going to die out because it's not getting any sunlight and nutrients and stuff. Whereas a tree, because it's more 3D, it's less of a layer and more 3D than algae. You can actually get multiple layers per tree, if that makes sense, but not as dense. So. Oh, if you could build buildings out of algae, that would be perfect. Because then every building would be contributing to the well-being of the planet. And it'd look cool. It'd make us all into, like, hobbitses. Imagine the whole of London looking like the Shire. Like, literally every building in London was inside a giant hill of algae. It'd be pretty fun. Well, you say too expensive, but our government is quite happy to just yeet millions of pounds into any random hole they feel like, and then go, oh, we've not got enough money to keep old people alive. Well, maybe you shouldn't be, like, desperately trying to make GB Energy then. Since GB Energy seems like a terrible idea because it's been thought up by Ed Miliband, who was a terrible person when it comes to ideas. It's badly costed, badly thought out. Let's waste millions on doing that whilst leaving old people to freeze to death. Oh yeah, sounds like a great idea.
Well, well.
Who doesn't want all of their elderly friends and relatives and neighbours to freeze to death while the government wastes money on ideas? So I've got 5,000 on... Oh, I need another 1,303. It's going to take me a while, but this is where I got my trousers from. Both pairs. I've got 2 pairs of these trousers. I've got them both from here. So I'm hoping one of these... Yeah, that one. And there's only 3 more reward caches. I'm hoping one of them has a higher tier pair of these same trousers in it, so that I don't have to switch away from my lightning trousers. Send you some links on Discord about algae building materials, so you can look. Well, that will be interesting because I do like that sort of thing as well. I find it most interesting. I quite like all these alternative methods of doing stuff. Like years ago, I watched a documentary where they realised that you could build really tall buildings for people to live in. Without ruining the landscape, or at least the look of the landscape, by digging down instead of up. And so they literally fully sort of planned out this entire complex of buildings that went down. It had shops, it had parks, it had areas growing food, it had offices, houses. It just went into the ground instead of, and then it was naturally regulated on temperature because being buried underground, it was less affected by the weather and what have you. So they could keep it cool in the summer and warm in the winter for a lot cheaper and a lot easier. I'm like, why don't we do that? That sounds pretty awesome. But it's a combination of price and willing. Someone somewhere has to be willing to do it first before anyone else will go, oh, you did it, oh, there we go. Like the whole, they came up with this. There's a thing called, I think it's called pykrete. Pykrete is was used during World War II. It's a mix of sawdust and ice, basically, to make a form of concrete. And it floated. And well, they built building. They actually built rafts on it rafts from it. Sorry, in World War II that they could land aircraft in. That's how big they were. So that up in the North Seas, they were landing and taking off aircraft on effectively artificial land masses made out of a mix of ice and sawdust. So there's bunches of interesting building materials. They even thought of building entire cities on there in Japan. They were going to move like Tokyo. They're going to build like a second size or double the size of Tokyo by building the second half of it on the water instead of on the land. And they'd fully worked out how they'd do it. They had like a whole load of there's a whole documentary about it, how it would float and how it would self-regulate its temperature and that sort of stuff. And so it'd free up the land for farming and stuff because they were living on the water instead. I'm like, this is freaking awesome. I love sci-fi and anything that seems like we're going to live in a sci-fi future where everything's done a bit better. I'm all for that. Whoa, did you see them all die at once then? I like places like that and the cool light systems that use natural light. Well, that's the thing. This whole undergroundy thing, what they were going to do, they were going to dig a giant tube and then build the buildings inside the tube, so that there was like an air gap between the buildings and the wall of the tube, and the wall of the tube was going to be painted white, so all of the light coming down the tube into the ground would be reflected into every window, so it'd be natural light, but then it would cause a chimney effect, so all of the heat would chimney up out of the area, so you'd basically have like air conditioning system that was run purely on the natural movement of air, so there would be no power required to keep the air conditioning working. But then in winter the air would be cool enough that the chimney effect wouldn't work the same, and therefore the warm air would stay around the building. So it was genius basically. It was like naturally lit, naturally stayed warm in winter and naturally cooled in the summer. And I'm like, this is freaking awesome. Why are we spending so much money on working out ways of... What's a better way of blowing up strangers in another country? Why don't we just spend that same amount of money on working out better ways of building cool buildings out there sci-fi? I haven't seen enough body parts go flying. Well, how about you just stop making body parts go flying and start building cool buildings? It would be much more fun. Oof. Me going to a decently developed country would count as living in a futuristic world. Well, I mean, one of the most advanced ideas recently is, I think is it called the Blade? In Saudi, they're trying to build an entire city that's like in this kind of blade. Like it's two mirrored walls with a city inside it and a great long monorail and all this sort of stuff. So that from externally it doesn't ruin the view again, because the mirroring just reflects the outside landscape. It's a really interesting watch and would be magnificent. But that level of advance to me, if you come from anywhere that's underdeveloped, just having a public transport system and a sanitary system, if you go to parts of Africa, for example, there are places that have that level of advancing. This is a kind of a misunderstanding. I think it's not Soweto. Where was it now? I've forgotten what country it was. I was watching recently. They're like quite advanced, but there are still places where it's funding. It's not stupidity in my view. It's funding, and the people have an odd view of what's going on there. If you send funds to a country and the funds get taken by the leadership and misused for their enrichment, their personal enrichment, then you are going to have a country where there's no national grid for electric and there's no phone system and there's no internet. If you send funds to a country and that funding is used to build an infrastructure, that's when people grow. Growth happens. Was it Soweto? I'm trying to remember where it was now. I know it began with an S and I've forgotten the name of the country. Most Gulf countries are way ahead of some countries. Well, yeah, that's what I meant. So a lot of the Gulf countries with the oil and that they've had the funding, and they've not just enriched the rich. Crappy part of London, particularly hated by people from part of South London. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, if you're from Egypt to like somewhere like Peckham, you probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference, to be honest. Home from home. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's corruption that does it basically. That and things like brain drain. So if you live in a country where corruption has meant that you can't get ahead, and you're particularly smart, or you're one of the few families that are doing like better off, it's very obvious that and again, I'm not blaming people here, but I'm just saying, for the good of yourself and your family, you'll move to another country, which means that anyone with any sort of entrepreneurial spirit or any sort of decent levels of education and stuff like that very often leave a country that's in trouble. So if the country's already in trouble, the people that could help turn it around with their entrepreneurial spirit and what have you, and their like just their new ideas and what have you, leave to go and do that somewhere else. And so the country doesn't ever get a chance to improve because the people who could be improving it are going, well, it's terrible here. See, like if you out-tax innovation, so if someone comes up with innovations but to set up a business costs so much because of the corruption in the country that it just isn't worth it, you can't make any money doing it, then you won't set up businesses and therefore you won't bring money into that country, and then you won't use that money and the fair taxes to create educational opportunities and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Can you turn those pesky periods into flats or something? Just get a reverse curse. Just go into the pyramid, right? And when he says, I'm going to curse you, just pull out an Uno reverse card. Sorted. You'll be blessed. That's how it works, isn't it? Infested with scarabs. But you could genuinely say, like, a barely used, one careful owner. I mean, it's true the careful owner might eat your eyes and tongue, and then go on to chase Rachel Weisz, which happens in all of those pyramids. But at least it's true that it was only one of them. I mean, who wouldn't chase Rachel Weisz, to be honest? You can't blame the mummy for that. You can get cream for that these days. No, I should. I mean, I'm not. This is partly why I've started my Substack, so I can sound more prepared when I'm ranting about stuff. When I'm ranting on my stream, I'm ranting from memory, and my memory is not brilliant, so I remember concepts, but not necessarily the fine detail. So I know, like, there was a recent talk I watched on how the negative conditions in certain places in Africa, for example, and this happens everywhere, so I'm using Africa as an example, but it happens anywhere that this sort of system's set up. If you take an area and there's corruption and overtaxing, it's never going to get better until those in power are got rid of, basically. Greedy people won't willingly just give up, like, oh, I'm getting regular amounts of money, and they're like, yeah, but your countrymen are hungry and they've got no electric and stuff. It's like, oh, I don't care, I'm rich. So greedy people aren't going to give that up naturally. So you have to have either a coup or some outside intervention or something. Because anytime anything comes up as an innovation in that country, it's seen as an opportunity for the rich gits that have already milked the country to milk it a bit harder. And so no one does anything that's worth doing in a country like that, because it's like, well, the moment I do it, you're just going to take it anyway. There should be an international law where such, I mean, I don't know if there is or not, but I haven't seen it in action, where such corruption is policed and punished, basically. We've kind of got the Star Trek Federation rule where you don't go in and interfere, it's none of our business, but really, it's kind of on behalf of the people. If they could petition that it gets sorted, then there would be some correctness to it. If it's just ours, you can't go and impose your country's will on someone else. But if the people of the country said our infrastructure and our leadership are just fleecing us, could you come and do something about it? And then you've been invited. Then that's basically what happened. I believe that's close to what happened in India. I think leadership was more involved in it there, though. It's probably a lot better back when you visited back then 1,000 years ago. Yeah, this is the thing. When you visit a country, you always. I mean, like we went. Do you remember? Kaz, you probably were too young to remember, but we went to Tijuana in Mexico, and we saw some of the kind of darker side of Mexico there. But imagine if we went to one of those resorts, you'd think that Mexico was just a nice place to go and lie by the pool, and we brought stuff. Yeah, you remember it? Yeah. What's Mexico? Oh, it's this place where you go to a hotel and you get brought food and drinks. No, it isn't. Not for most Mexicans. That's because you went to a resort and the bit of Mexico you saw was a hotel resort. And you could do that anyway. You could go to the touristy places of anywhere and see the nice touristy bit and go, oh, it's quite nice here, look. It's like, yeah, that's because you went to the bit that's literally been set aside for you to look at and go, it's quite nice here, isn't it? You go to the bit where most of the people live. It's not like that. No, are you saying no comma, Egyptians are fucking idiots, or are you saying no Egyptians are fucking idiots? Because punctuation there makes that sentence mean completely two different things. On the record, anyone listening in, Ripe is Egyptian, so he's got the card. He's allowed to criticise Egypt. My son's godmother is from Cairo, so I'll get a little bit more insight. We're planning to visit for a longer trip and stay with friends rather than a hotel. Well, yeah, go and stay in the suburbs. Go and, yeah, get out of the main area. Right, I see. Now you've clarified that. Right, is this helmet a better one? I've actually got quite a bit more of improvements going on here. Look. So last week these were down in the 5s and 6s. These numbers here. I did a little bit of gaming during the week to bring them up. So this is 9,000 life, 8,000 attack, 4,000, nearly 5,000 armor. I don't know why that's just gone up. Oh, I do. Yeah, I did. I just added I forgot what he called it. The big attribute sheet I've added to that. Need more for the clarifications. I can go on the whole through. No, I mean I do get what you mean. This is why, like, it's going to sound like Team America World Police. I get the argument against foreign peoples going into a country and going, oh, your country seems like it's run badly. Don't worry, we'll fix it. Who the fuck you? Get out. I get that. But there should be some sort of a process of appeal whereby people in such afflicted countries can go, actually, it's pretty shit. Could you come and fix it for us? Because on their own, if you leave people on their own to fight their own, I mean, there is an argument to say that, you know, any country that's had a revolution had to do that themselves. They had, you know, they had to use their own blood, sweat and tears to improve their own situation. But it shouldn't have to be that you have to lose hundreds, if not thousands, of your countrymen just to get a change in your country for the better. If the majority of the people of a country are asking externally for an intercession, there's an obvious country that comes to mind, and I'm not going to mention it now on stream because it's very divisive at the moment, but there's one particular country right now in the world that could say that our leadership has led us into a bad situation. Could you please come and take over? That would make sense to me. International petition to invite people to war with your leaders. Well, not to war. Well, I suppose it could be war, but yeah, to basically just to ripple. It sounds crazy, but it's literally America and Britain have been doing that for years. I mean, what happened in Iraq? We went over there and got rid of the leadership. It's not bizarre and out of the blue idea. I'm not saying I support like literally more war, but I mean if it was an international, get 10,000 signatures and we'd debate. I'm thinking if you had an international one, like kind of like the UN, I suppose, where it was a collective agreement that basically if you don't start treating your country people right, we're going to get rid of you. And then when they don't do so, we say, right, we're coming to get rid of you. And it's not Britain, it's not France, it's not Germany, it's literally these 20 countries. So you aren't going to be able to stop this. And then we just take them out and put in. But it's a difficult one because, like I say, any time you do that, then you've got the accusations that America have had in the past of dicking about with other people's politics. It's a strange and dangerous. That's all I'm going to say about that. But in the meantime, I'm looking for a new hat. I've got plenty of life. I don't really want to lose life, but I've got plenty of life, so I could go down and get more armor. But I don't know. No, I think armor is useful, but I reckon the life is probably more useful right now. Let's get rid of that. Well, this is the trouble. This is why I said it has to be an international cooperative. It couldn't be one, because let's say it was Britain, for example. Britain goes, right, we're going to go and do it. So then everyone gets put in are pro-British. Well, that's a corruption. Okay, right, then Britain and France. Well, now everyone that gets put in is pro-European. Oh, fine. Britain, France, and Brazil. Okay, now everyone's pro-Western. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, Britain. It'd be really difficult to create a group that were diverse enough that would be a fair adjudication. Like, yes, this is a fair thing to go and do, or no, this is not a good thing to go and do. It's more of an idealized idea, I suppose. It basically is an extension of compassion. I look at people in countries that seem to be locked in a situation that is caused by their leadership, and I don't discount Britain from that. We are in a situation currently caused by our leadership. I look at their situation and go, I wish there was something we could do to help. I wish people would go and help them. I don't like to see people like living in a position that it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair. But it's really difficult when you start making those moralistic judgments. Firstly, it's my morals. I'm using to judge it. I'm saying it doesn't seem fair because I think it isn't, and I still think it isn't, whether you question my morals or not. But that doesn't mean I have the right to impose my morals on them. And then who gets to do it and who chooses what's the right thing to do? It becomes such a mess. Knowing our luck, the far left would get in, do what you say, and force countries into the far left politics. Well, no, actually, no. What's more likely to happen is something I can't talk about on stream right now. I will talk to you about it, or at least mention it afterwards, because it's a genuine worry. But if I talk about it now on stream, I pretty much will be banned. So I'll talk to you about that after. But it's just an example of how common it is here, all over the country. Genuinely, right? This is not a gleeful admission. This is not me wishing this upon anyone, and this is not me even supporting the concept. But genuinely, the only way that a decision along the lines of the one I've just been making can be carried out is by insurrection by the people of that country. And it sucks, because it's dangerous, and people will die. And I'm not trying to support or start insurrection either, just before anyone says that. I'm not going, yeah, let's all rise up. I'm just saying, if you look at every country that's like successfully thrown off the old way of leadership, take France, for example, going far enough back in history that's a safe example, with the guillotines and what have you, they managed to clear up a bit of the problem they had with their leadership. We had a civil war here. And that's how the Magna Carta came about, and that gave a better deal to the people. The Magna Carta ensured some of the rights that we wanted the people of Britain to have. And so, but that was a result of a war. It was a result of a civil war. People going, we will not accept this anymore, and taking up arms. It's terrible that the only way you can get fair treatment these days, and in history, I suppose, is to have to war about it. There should be a better method by now. He should have come up with a better method by now, after all these years of going, well, is this okay? Does everyone like, no, okay, right now, get rid of that leadership. The trouble with the leadership is once they're in power, they think of brilliant ways of keeping themselves in power. For example, like we tell them that we hear stomping and loud sound thuds, but that shakes our windows. And said it's probably the AC from another building. So an air conditioning in another building is so loud that it's shaking your building. Yeah, that sounds really likely. It's air conditioning that's going around visiting the neighborhood. It's like the Santa of air conditioning. Ho ho ho! You're sitting there trying to sleep, and air conditioning's climbing down the non-existent chimney. Yeah, that sounds rather more like a giant lie than it does the truth. Oh look! Oh, let's see if I can get here. 17 seconds. Woo! I don't think I'll get there in time, but let's try. Come on! Go! Sorry, no time to fight bears. I'm busy. No time to fight you, I'm busy. No time to fight you, I'm busy. I've literally got no time to fight anyone. I'm too busy. I'll fight you on the way back, promise. I mean, that's a lie. I'll probably just beam home, but, you know, you don't know that. We're dumb enemies in a game. I'm aggroing every last one of them, though, because my special power of this... Oh, brilliant, you've killed my horse. Motherfucker. There's a timer on that horse now. I've got to try and run to the end of the... I want to get there in 17 seconds. Get out! Get out of the fucking way! I'm busy. Crikey, you gits. Alright, we'll chat in a second, but I'm just trying to get here as quick as possible. It's about to kick off. Oh, it's already kicked off. Well, he's an interesting fella. Well, I died immediately. Am I the only one here? Horseman, it wasn't me that murdered it, it was them. They twatted it with something heavy while I was running. I just attack it from all the way over here. Zoom! I do more damage up close because I can use my individual strikes then as well. Ah! I was sent off backwards somehow. Whoa! I'm gonna get trodden on. Get off! Don't like you. I'm trying to keep round behind him. Whoa! The hell's all that? Where did that come from? This guy pays out. He kind of pays out early. He's like a fruit machine. What's excusing winter? Their oven. Yeah, ovens get up and walk around in winter. I don't know if you know. It's called winter ovenosis. It's a well-known phenomenon. What the hell? Beaming all over the place. The huge shape. Yeah, this is what he keeps swatting me in the head with. Ah, I'm stuck inside him. That sounded more pervy than I intended. Oh, you bitch. Just canked me in the head and down I went. You're for it now. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to tell you off. Imagine if I hadn't spent this week improving my health. Oh, I'm gonna die. I would have been dead about 4 to 5 times by now. Whoa. He's going down. In a blaze of glory. I'm yelling now because my earphone slipped over my ear and I can't hear myself. Whoa, we did it. Look at us being heroes. Gimme. Ooh, this fell open as well. I've got loads of stuff falling out of it. Yoink. We've got a grand cache as well. Oh, we've got loads of stuff. Nice. Nice. Is that everything? Let's give them a... where is it?
Well done.
There we go. Well done. But this is where I perform a lie, because I told those guys I'd come back and fight them. But no, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna beam back to my town. Screw those guys. They were enemies anyway. Zarbins. Right now I can read chat when I'm beaming. What was going on? It's just very rare to stumble upon decent people who think if I'm a con artist, I'm a genius. Yeah, I mean, it's quite common. But it is terrible. I'm going to sound like a hippie or something, but if people could work together, they'd improve their own lives as well as those around them. It's one of the dumbest things about the human race is that the pure me, I'll get ahead, me, it actually doesn't work as well as we'll get ahead. Like if you create a prosperous country that you live in, you prosper and so does everyone else. If you go, no, why should I help anyone else? Just me. And then because you won't prosper as much if you live in that just me environment. Oh yeah, talking about your brother doing voiceovers, yeah. After all these years, he only dealt with like 3 decent people who are cooperative. What I found, as you know, I used to make web pages before the collapse. In the before 4 times. I'm imagining we're in a Mad Max world. And the number of people that wanted you to lower your price to 1/10 of what it costs. So you tell them how much it's worth. Oh, I only want to pay X, and X is usually 1/10 of what you've just said. Like, who do you know that does that? Right. Firstly, if you go to a plumber and he goes, "Well, it's going to cost me like 300 quid to replace that boiler," and you go, "I'll give you 30 quid," he's going to go, "No," and just leave. He's not going to hang around and talk to you about it. He'll go, "You're clearly a moron. I'm going." If you go to a mechanic and you go, "It's going to cost me 250 quid to replace that thing in your car," and you go, "I give you 25 quid," they'll go, "No," and then they'll just kick you out. No one's listening to that bullshit. So you go, "I need a website. I'm going to go to a contractor that makes websites," and I say, "Well, that site's about a £500 website. I'll give you 50 quid." No. Oh, well, come on, be reasonable. Sorry, but what's unreasonable? I'm telling you that that's going to take like hours and hours of work and some licenses, and 50 quid won't cover the licenses alone, let alone all the work. Oh, come on. How about 100 then? No, it's a £500 website. I used to hate it. That's why I don't do it anymore, partly. That and the fact that no one was buying it. The advent of Brexit basically shut down a lot of lines of business, basically. Made it very difficult to sell anything that was classed as advertising, which web pages are, because the people were using bank loans for their advertising budget, and the banks in Britain, as soon as Brexit was announced, stopped lending to people for their advertising budget. And so basically no one wanted web pages. And now they probably won't again by now. I don't know. But I'm done with it. I'm just sick of people, basically. People are just stupid and annoying, basically. For the most part. Obviously. I'm not meaning all people everywhere. I just mean in like... And probably more collectively than individually as well. You will know individually stupid people. And individually annoying people. But collectively, people have far more scope for being stupid and annoying. It's like they take any group, and collectively the IQ of that group lowers to the stupidest person in the group. That's how mob rule works. It's why people start clubbing each other in the streets, because one guy said, "Get him, let's club him," and everyone goes, "Yeah, let's do that." Yeah. So the whole group's IQ drops to the lowest IQ. Right, let's have a look. I didn't even check. I don't think my numbers went up. I don't think I got any mother's doodah. I've forgotten what it's called now. Mother's gift, do you? No, not really. Well, no, I didn't. So I need to go and farm some more mother's gift. A little over 8,000. It's taking some work. Look at the US. We have grown dumber and dumber as the right grows more vocal. How's it going, Sparhawk? I mean, there is some evidence that there's a silent majority in both Britain and America, and Europe is overall, actually. And so you will find that people's views of what's happening in their country are often based on what's happening with 10 to 20% of their country. Because they're the 10 to 20% that are either stupid enough to just open their mouth and say anything stupid they feel like saying, or angry enough to open their mouth and say something that is therefore inflammatory because they're angry. And so you get this polar view of what's happening, and it's usually extreme one side or the other. And then 80% of people are just like, this is shit, isn't it? Yeah. And they just carry on with their lives. And so you don't even get to hear from them. So the majority of people are not really that well represented by social media, for example. It can lead to like a false view of what's going on. That doesn't mean that it's not accurate. It does mean that you still got to look out for those people doing those dumb things and saying those dumb things and what have you. It just, things are not quite as... many ideas aren't quite as popular as they first seem. And you'll find that when you go to, like, voting. In Europe now, there's a shift towards the right in voting that would surprise most people, I think, because it's like, wait, I thought we were shifting left. It's like, no, we vocally shifted left on public platforms. But the silent majority have quietly shifted right. When you've got a cool thing and you don't want to swap it out, you just want a better version of the cool thing you've currently got. This game never wants to offer you a better version of the current cool thing. These are so wildly different, it's hard to choose a difference. I'm just going to get rid of everything. I'm just going to keep getting rid of stuff until I find something that's even cooler. Don't know why I marked that. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Hello. I wish you could get that as a... what's the word? A transmog, though, because it looks pretty cool. But I'm not keeping... I'll carry too much stuff in this game. I've just... My chest... Not my physical chest, obviously, but... my chest here is just full of junk. I keep getting rid of stuff and then coming back. Like, all this yellow. Why have I kept any of this yellow? But right now... Right now. What am I doing? Why am I even looking at that as if I was going to keep it? Everything, it's an everything going sale, everything goes. Some of these are for different characters. This is the other thing I've got to remind myself. I share this chest with my other characters. I sometimes get rid of stuff, then realise my other character's not got a weapon now because I just threw it out. Some of these I was keeping because they came from a storyline as well. I don't know why I marked that one as favourite. I'll look at that later. Let's get rid of a bunch of this yellow stuff that I don't need. That's dumb. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I know that was from a storyline. I don't really need them, even though from a storyline. But it's just like one of those, like, but I want it from the storyline. It's being dumb. I've got a load of these things that eventually you think, well, I don't even remember what story they're from, and then you go, well, why did you keep it from a storyline? You don't remember the freaking story. It's kind of dumb, but I will. I do it and I will. I make sense when I speak words. I can't get that. I can. No, I can't. I can't take that gem out. I need to take that gem out of that one. So let's mark that one temporarily favourite. Don't accidentally flog it.
A fine deal.
Yeah, it's a fine deal. Well done. Go away, all of you. Why did I miss that one? Right, let's unmark that one. Let's go back to Zarbin Z. Generally, the problem with the world is there's too many people in it that are just selfish bastards, basically.
You again.
And unfortunately, it's because they're selfish bastards that they manage to get hold of power. And then once they're in power, it's really difficult to get them out of power because they're selfish and they're bastards. That's the thing about being a selfish bastard. It makes you selfish and a bastard. Right, now we've got that gem out. Oh, it's a diamond as well. I'm glad I took it out. Can I break that up? Can you smash gems? Craft gems. You can't smash them, I don't think. Because wait, I've got 712 chips. Well, I want to put that there. I don't want to have to put it in my pocket. I don't think there is a way of putting it back in. Yeah, you're making them out of fragments. So I'd have to somehow break this into fragments in order to do that. Can you do that? Salvage gems. Oh, hang on. Wait, you can. Yay! That's how you do it. Shows I was paying attention. Now I've turned it back into fragments, I can turn it into a better quality diamond in the future. Well, I've done it again. I've gone up the wrong damn stairs. I can see the freaking place I want to go right there. Just ran straight past it. His Instagram has like his highlights, and Facebook is all of his work. Oh, you're talking about your brother still, yeah. Yeah, for those who don't know, if anyone's looking for it, Ripe's brother does voiceovers. Right, did I already check for healing? Healing? Repairing. Same thing. Healing my clothes. Yes, I had. Where am I going to get more of this green crap that I need for the mother's triune? Green crap. Anyone know? Ooh, is this another thing that's happening that I could go to? Begins in 1 second. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think I could have got there in 1 second. That would have been unlikely. How is it running for? That's an event. Does that mean people are... It might be worth just going along to find out what it is. Let's go here. Ked Bardu. I think most of the world requires some sort of grand scheme thinking to fix it. The trouble with grand schemes is they're complex and often wrong. But the only alternative we've got so far is short-term thinking, and that always just leads to short-term gains, if at best, and usually long-term problems, and very often also short-term problems. Why am I walking like a pleb? I've got a horse. Everyone would like, I think, secretly, and not everyone. So the people in power would want to be in power of this, or would not want it to happen. But the whole Star Trek government, basically, where everyone gets the equal chance. Everyone's basic needs are covered. Everyone gets to do what they like. If you feel like being an artist, there's no reason not. You're not going to starve, and you may produce art or literature. Or if you love engineering, you get to be an engineer. You don't have to go, I'd love to have been an engineer, but I couldn't afford the university. You get to be one. But this is the downside. To get to that state would require probably quite horrific means. Because if you say to every leader in the world, we're taking your power away, they're going to corral as much force as they can to make sure that doesn't happen. It would take probably a war, like a civil war, but technically it wouldn't be a civil war, but it would be like a civil war global scale, like to make the whole world one government. The whole world would have to go to war. Which would be a bit bad, since we've had a couple of those, and they didn't turn out for the best. It turned out a bit deathy. But it's very unlikely you'd ever voluntarily get everyone on, because no one can agree. You can't get two people from two different towns to agree on something as simple as a football team. There's no way you're going to get people from entirely different cultures and religions and histories to agree on how the world should be run. So anyone going, we should make this like global government like Star Trek's, like, good luck. That's going to lead to mass genocide. Most people who paid your brother without problems aren't from Egypt. Well, this is the thing. I mean, I'm not going to single out any culture here because obviously it would look like discrimination. But I know of there's one particular culture, and I've known plenty of people from that culture, where like cheating in business is considered a competitive advantage. So it's not frowned upon. It's seen as being smart. So if you can get stuff for cheaper, it doesn't have to be safe. It doesn't have to be the thing. If you say you're selling something and you're actually selling something different, as long as it looks enough like the thing you said you're selling, that's okay. And it's to my sensibilities, come from a country where all that is heavily frowned upon, from my culture. It's anathema. I hate it, but that's because that's my culture. I still agree that my culture is correct about that, but it's difficult when this is why this global government idea wouldn't work. If you got people from a culture where they think cheating's fine, and people from a culture where they think cheating's the worst thing you could do, it's like, well, how are you going to reconcile that and become one government? How are we going to have this new world order of everyone agreeing on this one government in charge if we can't decide on the basics? Trouble with this particular type of missions, you've got a lot of running around, and often I miss the fighting. The character doesn't run faster. But now look, we're going to run through here to get to the next lot, and they're already fighting them. I want to play! I don't know if you can see at the top right, there's a little flashing white rings showing where the next bit of action is going to happen. Or where it's currently happening as well. Being a con artist. Well, this is the thing. This is fundamentally, if that's what your culture believes, you're acting within the bounds of your culture. I'm not saying you, right? I mean, like as in you, as in the general you, the conceptual you. Then you're acting within the bounds of what's considered correct in your country. If that's the kind of culture that persists in your country. Other people from other places can look upon it and go, that's awful. It's awful for you because you don't like it, but this is how we do stuff. I would absolutely hate living in that sort of culture where trust isn't just part of business. It still isn't here, but at least we have a facade of it and we try our best. Look at all these, all that mother's gift. That's what I'm going for, that green text you see going up the screen. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Me, me, me. This is the world at large. Me, 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 me. Woo!
Thanks. Impressive. Thank you.
Let's get out of here. Let's go back to zibbity doo dah zibbity day. There it is. That's what it's called. It's not called Zarbinet. Oh, Zarbin Z. In hindsight, my brother and I probably picked the worst industry to work with. Well, I suppose if you worked exclusively outside of Egypt. Difficult to do, I know. But if you're having trouble with a certain market. What the hell? I don't want to go back into that. Then change your market. It's easier said than done. I hit some of the same problem. I'm coming up against people that wanted me to do work for them, and then they would give me a percentage of the success of their company instead of pay for it. And you're like, well, that means if your company fails, I don't get paid. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, why would I? I'm not part of your company. Why would I gamble? I could ask you, like, they'd ask me for a website that cost like $1,000, $2,000 to create, getting the amount of work that they wanted. And then they wanted me to gamble on their ability to run a business. I'm like, I don't know you from anyone else. I don't know if you're smart enough to run a business. I'm not going to give you a free website requiring hours of my work on the off chance that you might be smart enough to make your business work. And then I'd still have to go to court to force you to pay up, because by the time you're successful, you would have forgotten I made your website. It's just crazy what people come up with in their heads. Like, they think this is going to happen. It's like, no, I'm just going to hand you free shit on the off chance that it's useful for you. They have this whole idea as well. It's an insult to claim that I might not become successful. No, it's not. It's actually quite smart on my behalf not to do free work for everybody out there just in case one or two of them become successful. I can't go to my bank and pay them in your mortgage payment's due. But I own a potential future share in the success of a business that may or may not be successful. They'll go, shut up, we don't care. Your mortgage is due, where's the money? They wouldn't go, oh, well then, we'll wait until they're successful for you to pay us. Oh, Tesco's, I've got grocery order. Well, can you pay for your groceries? No, but there's this company I made a... We don't care. Can you pay for the groceries? No? Right, then you don't get groceries. How it works. Where's the money, Lebowski? Exactly. I just don't have connections. This is my biggest problem in business, is not only do I not have connections, I'm not the sort of person that's very good at creating connections. If you look at the top left of my stream right now and see how I've managed to build my stream, you will be able to tell I'm not the right sort of person to make connections. I'm not very good at it. Sorry, I'm wiping my nose, you might hear that. It'd be wrong to say I don't like people. I know I joke about it, but I'm actually quite a people person in many ways. I'm just not very good at projecting that. So I genuinely care about people, and I genuinely want them to the best for them. I try and approach everything from a position of compassion. But the patterns in which I speak, the words I use, the thought processes I have, they don't easily transmit to other people the fact that I care. So I'm not a popular person. And so when it came to business, if someone asked me for something, I'd say, well, this is how that's done, and this is how much it costs. What they wanted me to do is like bend over backwards to kiss their ass, and I'm not an ass kissy sort of person. Like, oh, I'm sorry you're having this problem. Allow me to do my best to do what's good for your company, because I believe in your company. I don't know your company. I don't believe in your company if I've never heard of you before. Yeah, but I want you to pretend to believe in my company, or I'll feel bad. Well, I'm not babysitting you and your company. If you want my services, here they are, and that's my problem. You want my services, I'll provide my services for you. If you want me to pretend that your company's the best thing I've ever heard of, I'm sorry, it isn't. It's like when you go to an interview in a business, and I'm obviously more careful in interviews because you're trying to get the job. But like, what drew you to apply to our company? Because I need to eat food, basically. I prefer to eat food and sleep in a house rather than like live on the streets and be hungry. It's the most honest answer. You can't give that answer. People don't like it. You've got to pretend that their company... well, I just heard that your company does wonderful things in field X and are really pushing the envelope in field Y. It's like, I don't give a crap what your company does. Have you got a job I can do? Yes, and will you let me do it? Okay, that's all I care about. But they don't want to hear that. They want to hear this bullshit where you just pretend that they're the best thing you've ever heard of. And blowing smoke up each other's asses is as a requirement, basically.
You know the scar where that demon was killed? Name escapes me. I got sick of the say.
They also expect you to do the same back for yourself, which again, I'm not very good at. I've never been particularly good at promoting myself to others. Why should we hire you? And my brain never goes, well, I'm probably the best employee that's walked in today. I'd be so good for your company. I'd be like, because I'm competent and I can do the job that you want doing. Well, that doesn't sound impressive. Yeah, I know, but it's true. I'm just telling you the truth. Well, can't you just dress it up to sound like it's amazing? Why did I click this? No. Can't you just accept that you need to hire someone competent and I'm someone competent? Why do we have to play this dumb game of blowing smoke up each other's asses? I'm probably too autistic for business is what I'm saying. People will ask me questions and I'll give them answers and oh, I didn't want that answer. Well, but that is the answer. Yeah, but you're supposed to pretend to be nice. Sorry. Can't do that, sorry. The irony is, every business I've worked for has ended up prospering off my work, and that's not me trying to boast. That is something I would have to say in a job interview, but it happens to be factual information, and I've got like provable measurements basically, where businesses I've created value in businesses, so it's worth hiring me because I'll create value to your business. But it's hard for me to say that to people. I do best working for myself. Heavy Axe Ancestral. It's great when all the things they give you are weapons for different classes, not the class you're currently playing. Ah, look at that! I've paused him in the air. Look, he's flying. Ah, jerk. Flying jerk. Every time the little green text goes flying up the screen, I'm progressing. It's really... rewind. I'm going to start reading that again in my head. It's really almost impossible to prosper where I'm at. Not finding excuses, but examples are shown in here. Well, this is the thing. Unless you mean that you're literally taxed out of existence, so that any money you make is taken from you. The internet has made a global market possible. Like when I was doing the websites, I wasn't doing them for just people in Britain. I worked on websites for people in America, Czechoslovakia, you know, places around the world that needed websites. And sometimes developing a decent international community is actually a better business than just relying on your local country, because you're limiting your market basically. Have I gone the wrong way? Have I missed out a big chunk? I think I have. We'll find out. Let's go in here and find out what this is. Oh, there's corruption. Some sort of corruption going on in here. No, it's gone now. This is why the Star Trek world, like I say, it'd be impossible really to get to without incredible deaths. All these, but what they do in that is they take people and work out what they're best at and let them do it, and that's really what we should be doing for everyone in the world, for more than just selfish reasons. Like as a country, if you want to prosper, you want your best people to do their best, do the best they can in an area that they're good at doing it. You don't go like, well, you're probably mediocre at running a business. Here, run a business. Yeah, but I'd be really good at being a pilot. No, just run a business. Be mediocre at running a business instead. That doesn't make sense for the sake of your country. These dungeons are so confusing sometimes. Like I can't tell. Am I missing a section, or am I going to go back round to it? I'm basically perma-lost. Because look, they kind of half lead back to each other. There's a whole load of people here that I haven't seen yet. I quite like the fact that my lightning goes ahead of me. Look, I'm walking around and the lightning's doing the work in front of me. Boom! I've got a shiny shield. What are you going to do about it? Ooh, a stone carving. Yoink. Oh wait, there's a stone carving. That means I've got to open a door somewhere. Because I've got it on my back now. I've got a backpack. If I zoom in, I'm wearing a giant piece of stone on my back. Woo! Woo! This feels heavy. It hurts. Why are you making me do this for longer? Stop it. Somewhere there's a door that I've missed that goes in. Yeah, he didn't stand a chance, really, did he? Boom! Oh, now I've come back to that bit I was in. Kind of Luke. Basically, oh, there's the door. Basically, I'm saying I need a map to this dungeon. Yeah, I've done all that part now. Wait, I was looking at the map. Calm down. People power. Yeah, the class-based system is one that we've. And I say we, as in, I mean humans, have managed to develop and eradicate multiple times, and every single time we get rid of it, the replacement turns back into a class-based system. It's bizarre. It seems ingrained in human thinking that you can segregate society into bands of people, and that those bands can be treated differently, and that it's somehow fair to do that. It's just bizarre. Why do we do this? And any time you can even make ones that sound logical. So you say, well, the people that put the most into the society should get the most out of it. That makes sense, actually. If you say that to anyone, they're probably, yeah, that sounds fair. Okay, so what about the disabled who can't put as much in? Oh, shit. Now we've created a disabled class that are lesser. Okay, what about the fact that some people genuinely are just smarter than others? Oh, shit. Now we've created a stupid class that are just lesser. It's like literally the moment you have what sounds like a good idea, it's a class system. Immediately. It's like, oh, crap. Well, that good idea has gone down the pan again. But then the opposite, true. It's true too. Okay, then everyone gets an equal amount out, despite no matter what they put in. But then there's no incentive to put anything in. Because if you're smart and you could put in a lot, but you're gonna get the same amount as anyone that put nothing in, or like half as much as you put in, or a third of what you put in, there's no incentive to you to take the extra time and effort to put in anything special. So you stop, and then your whole society stagnates. Well, what if we threaten you? We'll threaten you to force you to... Oh, okay. State sanctioned. Now you have to put it in, whether you want to or not. Now that sounds like a perfect utopia to live in. There's basically no right answers. There's, I think it was Churchill, going back to the former subject of the stream earlier. Churchill who said democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others. And it kind of plays out true. But there isn't any particularly good one, really. There's just ones that are worse. There are some that I know we definitely don't want, basically. Why have I got this thing open? Ah, I'm running away. The trouble is, as well, is, without things being purely egalitarian, like literally equal, there's always going to be someone that becomes the rich. And then if you demonize the rich, then there's always going to be the poor who want to get rid of the rich. And they're going to have like this good argument about how it's unfair. And then people are going to believe it. And then they're going to take the money from the rich. And what happens if you take the money from the rich? You become the rich. So now it's your turn. It's like, oh shit, now I'm the rich. Now I'm being got rid of. And then whoever gets rid of you and takes the money you took from the rich, making you rich, becomes the rich. like shit. No, I'm being got rid of. It's like this long chain of just murdering each other for the money. Maybe don't demonize people, just think of better ways of sharing or better ways of offering opportunity. Yoink. I need time. Giant spiders! Is it Shelob? Is it Shelob? I think that's the name of the spider that was in Lord of the Rings. My memory, I'm dragging words from like the distant pits of my memory. Hello, I found a cupboard. Even in dungeons, you need a little cupboard to keep your mop in. You can't have too dirty a dungeon. I mean, this dungeon's pretty dirty, but if you leave it too dirty, all your giant hooved demon men will be slipping over in guts and stuff. So you got to go around and mop it at least once a week. You can't have at-work compensation claims from giant demon men. It just doesn't pay off well. Zap. Hello, mind if I murder you all? You fools! You fools, you said yes to being murdered. Actually, you probably didn't answer because I just murdered you. But it was a tacit yes, to be fair. Come on, you said yes. Hello. There's nothing going on. Is that it? That's that area. Let me just check. Yeah, so this is the last area, I think. There's usually a boss at this last. When you see one of these symbols, it's usually a door of some sort, and it's animus I'm collecting. Yeah, so yeah, that is. You got to fill this with those ghostly squiggles. Look, see that purple glue I've just put in it. Ow! I'm telling people stuff. Stop murdering me. Rude. Right in the middle of a conversation as well. Yeah, did your mother never tell you it's rude to throw spears in people's faces while they're talking? So this means this is a boss fight. Now that this corner door here opened, I've had to walk in. Look, if I do this, look. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's going to be a boss down there. Hi! How then you just straight away started swinging? I was just talking. I was being nice. You're rude. This could have been the start of a beautiful relationship, Kazra. The abomination. Let's see how you got your name. I'm gonna die. Try not that. Try not that. That made sense. I speak Inglos. Sorry, abomination. I've abominably murdered you. I wish there were a way of checking my current balance of green. My balance of green. It's just called green now. What's it called? The Mother's Tribute. Dungeon is cleared. All those green lines you see, keep seeing going up the screen is the thing I'm farming, but there isn't a way without going to that town of checking how far I got. Oh look, I can improve my healing potions. I hadn't even paid attention to that. Nice, job's a good one. Hang on, how can I have 9,169 health out of 9,163? I've got 6 more health than my upper limit. That makes no sense at all. And my character's basically lying. Slightly more healthy than is possible. Get along this trek. I can't speak English anymore. Long ass dungeons. I wonder how many megabytes is just taken up just by dungeons in this game. If you ignore the main map and all the areas you can walk to on that, just add up all the dungeons. So there seems to be quite a few, because that one is lost in time. No, there is. There. That's just one. And look, oh, I've just zoomed out so you can't see them. There's one there. Here, 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 here. They're all over the place. Look. Dungeons all over the place. Loads over here. What are these areas? Why are they marked and why do I care? Remembering the goose. Find under the fat goose inn. Oh. Well, I guess I could do... Oh, hang on. Something just turned up here. Insatiable hunger. What's that? It's right in front of me. Special things appearing as I walk. Hi, I've come to join whatever's going on here. Oh, it's one of these. You just got to stop this one from getting enough people to eat. They start eating people, well, surrounding beings. You got to break the bond. Eventually, it breaks their shield, and then you murder them. This is a very wolfy, werewolfy kind of area. And snakes. You wouldn't have thought of those as like a natural pairing. Dogs and snakes. Hello, mind if I murder you a bit? Yes, there's free murder. There's enough for everyone, don't worry. Queue up. You get murder, you get murder. You get special murder for being a special git. Not you. Freeze. You can't go there. None of you can go there. They're all trying to feed you. I can never tell how long it's... Oh, there it is on the right. If I do 4 more seconds, then I've broken a shield. There we go. Trying to murder her now. He gets frozen. She gets zapped. Zoink. Free things! How many free things have I carrying now, though? Imagine I'm getting full. Oh, yeah, I've got space. Now I've forgotten where I was going. Let's go here. Wait, no. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, I've clicked off the screen so it's slowed down. Get off. I'm not trying to do that. I need to go to a blacksmith. That's the wrong button. A blacksmith. To get rid of all the shiny things that I don't need. Is there none here? Have I gone somewhere? There isn't. Look. Healing, stash, and a stable. But there's no blacksmith. Brilliant. Excellent. Well, I can go to here. Oh wait, is the first thing in this area? It's just something about the sign under the goose. That's just money. That's a sign. Not under the goose though. Up on the goose. I'm assuming this is the goose. Sometimes they have like blacksmiths and stuff inside the inns, but they don't in this one. What are you? Oh, you're the healer. Fine. Zoom out. Can I zoom out? No, I can't zoom out. Eh. I can't see a sign. It won't show me high up enough on the... And this doesn't help. Sticking this right in the middle of the building somehow. I don't know. I don't see a sign. I could do this. There's this thing you can do in this game called read the freaking mission. Gives you a clue, but I prefer just to walk around in circles, lost. What was it telling me to do? Retrieve a giant demon horn, remembering the goose. Right, find under the... Oh, there we go. I've clicked on it. Find under the Fat Goose Inn's missing... Well, how can I find the sign if it's not there? That doesn't make sense. Tormund says the unknown thief made off with under the Fat Goose Inn sign. He believes local mischief makers Nern and Terish are responsible. So that's not this. Oh, it is this. I lied. Right, let's go there. What was the other one then? I was over there. Right, that's why I got confused. I've got to go and find the sign. I saw the sign. It opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. It was a goat. No. Looking for signs. Yoink. Somewhere over the rainbow. No, somewhere around here there will be a tiny thing to click on. And I'll miss it. Hello, mind if I murder you all? Free murder for everyone. There you go. Don't say I don't do anything for you. You woke up this morning thinking you wouldn't get any murder at all, but now you've had one for free. Egg sack. Rotten stump. I'm guessing it's just further up this road than they usually are. Hello, hello, coming through. Buried urn. I've never met him. Bloody pile. Charming. You'd think a thief would live in maybe a tent over here, but nope. Nope. You're gonna steal. Was that a donkey? Oh, it's not. It's a deer. I saw a weird donkey in the distance. Well, there's a dead body. Whenever you see those, that often means thieves are nearby. Nope, these are just backpacks. What the hell? The hell, man? I need to be given a sign to find the sign. It's marked off this whole area, but much of it is non-walkable land. You can't get in this bit. And that isn't... It looks like it's a place to go in, but it's not. It's just a fire in an alcove. mostly corpses around here. And this leads out of the blue area. There's no obvious... It's going to be accidentally fantastic. There's no obvious sign of this sign. You end up doing the old trick of just waving the mouse around to see what lights up. There's a rotten stump there. Look. But that's the exit from the area.
Won't be doing
Aha! Here we go.
Pop off with those goat-faced fiends, Tavish. You know I'm not made for this.
Did you take the sign?
This here trophy? I sure did. Nicked it to honour dear Tavish, my best mate. The goatman tore into pieces in this spot not 3 nights ago.
How does that make sense, right? Your mate gets killed by goatmen, so your idea is, I'll take a sign from a local pub. Why not make a picture of Tavish on a stick or something?
You know? Could you help me finish it? I like to think it'd give Tavish some semblance of if we place his daggers at the locations on the list.
So I'm going to place daggers now.
Let's get to it then.
This makes 0 sense. You are, frankly, nuts. So we're going to go all the way down here. My friend died. Okay, so I stole a pub sign. Why? So I could put daggers in the ground. What? You realise none of this makes any sense, don't you? Hello. Free death. Look how quickly that just murdered the entire crowd. One blast. It's like uber level of Sith electric. The Palpatine electric fingertips. Walk towards people, exploding them with my spinning electric. I haven't even pressed the button then. It was just the residual electric from up there. Shiny things, shiny things. Alright, free murder. There you go. You're all welcome. Zap. It's bizarre how all of these kind of fetch quests make you just walk through crowds of enemies and then just click a button. It's almost like it's not about the story, it's about forcing you to level by just forcing you to walk through groups of enemies. Ooh, free things. I don't know why I'm still collecting all this ore. I barely ever use it. This is a detour, but it's got free things. Free things are good. We're gonna survive a minute, basically. Easy clap. What's this green stuff? I'm grabbing it all. Ow! I need to get back. I need to get back. I'm telling on you. Oh, it's souls. I just collected a bunch of souls, apparently. Oh, I was running out as well. Refilled my cupboard. I want more. I want more. I don't think I can collect them there. Yoink. I really should have emptied my pockets before I did this. I don't think collecting these souls is doing anything about it. Kept making a cool little sound. Wait, no, none of that. Kind of rude. Ooh, 3 things. So I've got to put the knife in a bear den.
One night, Tavish came into the goose screaming about a bear turning into a man. Had Torben and me in stitches. Druids!
Well, druids do exist in this game.
He'd find their den and bop each one till they proved him true.
Okay, so you're openly choosing not to believe your friend in a world where we just walked through goatmen demons. You're going, oh, how ridiculous would it be that there would be druids in this landscape full of goatmen? I'm like, not that ridiculous, frankly. You're walking through fields of goatmen. Look, an outhouse. Can we go in? No, I really need to go. There's no toilet roll. Ah, no, fine. Imagine that. You've just slain a bajillion goatmen. The only place available to do your ablutions. And some rotten, stinking outhouse full of snakes. Hey man, can I take a break? Hello. Hello. Wrong way, but killed you anyway. Yet more ore. I grab it. I've got, let me see, I've got a Jibillion ore. I think that's the actual original and realistic figure. Let's have a look. Jibillion. Where is ore? 10,000 iron chunks. There you go. Every time I walk past someone, I better grab that. Why? I might run out. I've only got 10,000. Ooh, this was worth coming to now. Look, 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 look what I found. Boom. My intelligence just increased by 2 in this realm. Cool, I just feel a little bit smarter randomly. Hello, I've just become smarter, so you probably don't want to mess with me. Particularly not as a sorcerer, because one of your main stats as a sorcerer is intelligence. It actually increases your skill damage and resistance to elements. Free shoes. Diablo 2 had great goatman NPC Garbad the Weak. His voiceover is legendary and hilarious. I was advised, and I can't remember who, it might have been you, who knows? Who knows? To play Diablo 3 when I'm done here. And I'm definitely down for that. I'm very much enjoying this game. It's part of the reason why I like this game. It's quite easier to stream, because apart from the occasional like battle where you have to be paying attention to the screen, it's a fairly routine game. So I can, hello, why can't I click that? So I can kind of click on things and then look away again. Look to chat with you. My only worry is that I don't know how popular it is to have people watch it. I'm quite enjoying playing it, and it's fairly easy to stream. So that's 2 positives so far. Oh, I'm gonna get full up soon. I might have to go back to town. I don't know what will happen to her if I do. I reckon if I beam back to town, she might wait here for me. Let's find out, basically. From a technical standpoint, obviously this one has a lot, but as for this story and everything else, this is the weakest of all 4. This is ironic that this is my first then. But then again, Fallout 4 was my first Fallout I played. And then I've met a number of people who thought 4 was their least favourite. For me, it's still my favourite, but partly that will be based on the level of advance of it. So it just looked the best and played the best and best, all the word best over and over. But I quite like the story of Fallout 4 as well. But I've met a bunch of people that online, some for whom it's their favourite, and for some for whom it's their least favourite. It just happened to be the one I got in on, basically. So I could end up with this being the same. Did I just get rid of that thing? This could end up being the same, where I came in on one that was just the current popular one, or the one that is just released rather than the best. I thought I saw a better tier thing just then, and I've lost it. Oh well. Ah, there they are. Better pants. I always, whenever I get those better ones, I always put them away just in case I change my mind about them later and choose to wear them. I still reload to get rid of these.
Farewell.
Farewell.
No, you farewell. You can't make me fair anyway. I'm not going to fare. I'm intentionally not fairing because you told me to. I refuse to. I refuse to have a good day if someone tells me to have a good day. It's like, no, I'm going to fuck up my own day now. I'm not doing what you said. I just said have a good day. Yeah, you can't tell me what to do. I'm fucking it up now. I'm going to stub my toe on purpose.
This will do nicely.
I'm not stubborn. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at this. 94 million. But this is the test. Is she still waiting for me? It actually marks. It says I've put the dagger in though. Maybe I don't have to do that dungeon. She was having a nap! Classic. So it says, place Tavish's dagger on an old crane. Place entrance. Ah, yeah, that's what that was then. So I don't have to go in here. But if I don't go in here, I don't get free shit. Let's go in and see if she comes with me. She might just wait outside again. Lazy bint. Yeah, she hasn't come in with me. How dare. How very dare you. But it's always worth going in these things, because they don't take long. They're not very big. And they're full of people with loot in their pockets. You just go around, murder, litter everybody, get loot. Well, there's a limit to how much loot I think I need. I've got 94 million and I'm not really doing anything with it. I bet eventually there'll be a reason for it. Ooh, look at that. Look. I am trying to farm better armor though. Let me click. Let's have a look. Yeah, I didn't miss any turns. I like to be thorough. I like to make sure I've gone down every turn in one of these places so that I've killed every possible person to get every possible bit of loot. Hello! Nope, they're all dead. Everybody's dead, Dave. Dave, they're all dead. They're all dead, Dave. No, you don't look very well.
We got separated.
Well, this is always good. When you go try and help someone, you're immediately set upon by skeleton hordes. Woo! Everybody dies! Everybody dies! Everybody dies! Everybody dies! Eh. Hello, mind if I murder you all with lots of liberal application of lightning? I think the person in the middle might have just died. It says keep the wounded adventurer alive. Oh no, 5 out of 5. I've kept him alive. Is this the last wave? Boom! Everybody dies for free. I'm the master at murdering entire rooms of people. Stop respawning. Hey, I did it. And they're alive. That was surprising. There you go.
Without you, I'd be dead.
I hate to tell them, I haven't cleared outside that door, so they've just gone out that room and they've probably just walked directly into some more goat people or something. What is this? Why? What is it and why? That's what I ask. A crucial object is missing. Alright, the boss is through there. I see. That's not a door. It looks like a door, but it's not a door. I want to go in a little place. Like here, look. There's a little like alcove. Clearly. I want to go up and see what's in the bookcase. Maybe Diablo 72 will have it so you can go literally everywhere and anywhere that you can see. Ew. Skeleton climbing out of his own corpse. Now here, look. Why can't I walk up to that wall? I want to. Let me. What's that? Just an empty box? Yeah, basically. Hello. Come to rob you. My philosophy is quite egalitarian. Everyone I meet I rob. There's no differentiation. It's its purest form of equality. Hello. I've come to take the thing. The MacGuffin. Yoink. Got it. This dungeon's MacGuffin is mine. Oh, there's another box up. More yoink. Zoom. I've just acquired, and this is more an announcement of just in case people want it themselves. There's Green Hell. If anyone's ever heard of Green Hell, it was advertised I think last year, and it was given some degree of fanfare and then kind of died out fairly quickly. And so I didn't realise it was out, and had been out sufficiently long now that it's actually on sale. It's usually about 20 of your Earth pounds. It's currently, and this is obviously in UK money, but there's a sort of commensurate reduction in other currencies. It's currently £6.34, I think it was. It seems very similar to, what's it called? Sons of the Forest. There you go. I played Sons of the Forest and I quite enjoyed it. I didn't play it to completion because I watched it to completion and kind of ran out of steam. But it was more to do with the fact that I was playing other games. It wasn't a problem with the game. It was just that it's a game that takes a while, and I was playing other games at the time. But yeah, so Sons of the Forest, if you imagine Sons of the Forest with some tweaks, that's basically what Green Hell is. It's just a different company making it, but it's a different company's go at going, well, this is Sons of the Forest E. And it's out, it's £6 something, which I imagine it'd be about $7 or $8 in America. Boom! Magic box thing! Walls! Ruining books! Sacrilege. Should never ruin books.
I'll see you in Eldheim. Light's blessings. Brother
To climb down. Whee! Secret library. This is legit the sort of place I'd like to go IRL. Find a secret library full of hidden books. Q. Hi, mind if I murder my way through the library? The reason why they're attacking is because I borrowed a book and then didn't pay the fine when I brought it back late. So they're like, you must pay the fine! I was like, no, I won't pay the fine! Ah. You're being too loud in the library! You're screaming as I kill you! You're louder than I am! Boom! Zoom! Boom and zoom. See, whenever they give me two choices of right or left, I'm now like, am I going to miss something? Like, I know that here's the door to there. That's the door to where the boss will be. Hello, coming through. Just murdering my way around the library. To be fair, it stopped being a library a while back. This is now just a dungeon. Most of the books were in that first part. Hello, what's this? Oi! Firing crap at me, I was busy. Gonna sneeze any second now, computer coming. Squeeze me! I'm allergic to breathing, apparently. Wait for it. There, you try to get me, I saw it. No! Double stab! That was trickier than I expected. Hello! Dungeon inspection. I've come to test that your dungeon standards are up to code. These barrels, they can't be stacked here. This gate should be open at all times. You definitely shouldn't have lots of lightning fly around your dungeon. That's very dangerous. I'm afraid you're failing the dungeon inspection. I mean, you can tell it's dangerous because you're all dying. It's probably the most dangerous dungeon I've been in today. Oh, it's another one of those timed ones. These get a little bit annoying. You're literally just murdering on one small area over and over until a timer goes out. It's like, okay. Thanks. Thanks for that. I definitely need that in every single dungeon. I love it when a giant one bursts out of the ground like, oh, I'm so big and I'm dangerous, and then you just zap them and they immediately die, and you're like, well, about 4 times the size of me and you died immediately. SMRT. I'm stuck. I can't move. Ah! We done? Fine. Gimme. I'm gonna have full pockets again. Let's have a look. I'm halfway full. Right, where have I not been? So that corner. That may lead somewhere, but I doubt it. We'll check it out in a minute. Hello, coming through. Magic powers. Don't mind me, I'm just murderous. I'm a scoundrel, really. Hello. Hello. No coming back to life. Once you're dead, you're dead. It's a one and done deal. The amount of destruction that just flows off my character as I'm walking. Ow! I got frozen. Get off! Don't do it to me. I'm only allowed to do it to other people. I just walk around these dungeons with like pure destruction flowing off me. Zoom. Oh, is this the place where I get the MacGuffin? It would appear so. Mr. Razor Pulse. How can you have a Razor Pulse when you've got literally no veins because you're just a skeleton? You have got no pulse at all. Wait, wasn't I supposed to get a thing? Or maybe killing him... Oh, look, destroy skeletal constructs. There we go. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. All makes sense when you actually read what you're being told. Well, that means there might be more up that way then. Oh, no, hang on. There'll be another one that way and another one that way, I reckon. So go up here, go left. Come back down here, go right, and back to the middle. Seems fine to me. This poor woman is just waiting outside the dungeon. She's like, alright, see you in a bit. We've got one more dagger to do, but you spend half your day murdering things in a dungeon. I'll sleep on the floor outside. I can imagine when NPCs become more AI as they're planning, you might actually end up with better lines like that. Like they'll be like, "Where were you? I've been out sat like sleeping on the ground for like a freaking hour." More generated AI kind of there you go. Lines. Ow! Get off! He's a little bit easier to kill than the other one. Look. Ow. Yeah, that was a lot quicker than the first one. Imagine doing this IRL though. I mean, quite aside from the fact that these like fantastical creatures, just walking around a dungeon like this with even just the traps and things. I'll probably give it a go. I remember back when I did the archaeology, I went around some catacombs, and that kind of had a feeling to this. It felt like I was going around an ancient dungeon full of skeletons, because basically catacombs are full of skeletons. I accidentally put my hand in a dead person while I was in a catacomb. A very old dead person, it wasn't recent.
I'm not ready yet.
But yeah, I was in a catacomb, and the guide decided to show us just how dark it was, because we were deep underground, and they were like trying to show us that we are very obviously nowhere near the surface. So they turned off the torch. There was a guide with a torch that had been leading us, so we all just had to like keep our eyes on the source of light, and that was where we were going. And they turned off the torch to show us how dark it was, and said, "Hold your hand in front of your face." And I did so. And then when I put my hand back down, I put it in something that felt slightly weird. And when they turned the torch on, I had my hand in a dead person. I'm like, oh, charming. They'd been dead for like a few hundred years. It was a bit more of an Indiana Jones dead person than it was a CSI dead person. But it was still... It's still an interesting concept. Like, I've accidentally gently placed my hand in a corpse. That's just one of the joys that you can be had by going in a catacomb. It's literally going around an open graveyard, effectively, because they're just little alcoves in the wall with dead people in them. Tomb Lord! He's got like a ship's steering wheel on a stick. What are you doing with that down a tomb? How does that make any sense? See all the green coming off. That's what we want. We want the green. Anything else worth having? Nick the silverware. I mean, the price of candles these days. Picking up all these candles, you'd probably save a fair bit. Imagine if you picked up every single one of these, blew them out, and took them home. You could light your house for a year. I'm campaigning for being allowed to pick up more crap. New bread's like some pasty and dead. This is the thing. I have no idea who it was. I put my hand in. It was a really cool catacomb though, because it in the center of it, like in the center of the catacomb, so there were lots of narrow corridors. Like it literally looked like the tombs from Fallout 4. I expected a Draugr to come walking around the corner. So because you had long passages with just alcoves with dead people in them. And then in the centre, it opened out into a bigger area where they built a chapel under. Oh, she's back there. Built a chapel underground, in the middle of the catacomb. It just randomly as well. It was not obvious that that's where we were going to end up. And so we just like it just broke out into this room that was actually, the chapel was independently lit. We didn't have to use the torch to see it. So we're walking down these dark corridors for like what seemed like an age, unable to see a single thing. Well, suddenly we're in this room. You could still see cave walls and stuff, so you could tell it was still part of the cave system. But in some parts of the cave wall, they replaced just bare rock with like marble carvings and stuff. It was totally Indiana Jones, basically, and pretty cool. This was under Rome, if you're wondering. The catacombs under Rome. They were just fascinating. I've been in like barrows and stuff like Bronze Age barrows are in and around Britain, but mostly the skeletons in those are because they were buried with the skeletons like separated into bits kind of thing in the barrow, and they've mostly been exhumed to study, and partly so they could work out how many bodies were in there basically. Because instead of storing like entire skeletons, they had these rooms where at the top there'd be like all the skulls go in room 1 at the top, all the left arms go in room 2 at the left, all the right arms go in room 3 on the right, like that. And they'd separate the skeletons out into their various parts, and then store them together that way. Which meant there was less of a reason to leave them in place, because then they wanted to empty them out and count, like they wanted to basically recombine them like grisly puzzle pieces. If you found 20 or 30 skeletons in there, they would recombine them back into 20 or 30 individual skeletons by working out which bit went with which. Oh, these are all, what do you call them? Thingies with stuff. Thingies with stuff. Goblins with treasure. There you go. Yeah, it's literally like corpse accessories. This is the one thing that you actually come to grips with as an archaeologist. You actually have training sessions on it to see how you feel about it. As an archaeologist, you are effectively being a grave robber. And then there's the rest in peace versus curiosity argument. Like, is it technically right that your curiosity is enough for you to exhume people who were buried? And I'm like, yeah, but they're buried so far back. Yeah, but they're still just people that were buried. Yeah, but it was a long time. Yeah, but they are still people. There's no one around who knew them to be upset that you dug them up. But at the same time, you are just digging up people's graves. It is still a bit weird. I didn't have an issue with it because my curiosity was greater than my need to not dig up people. But there were genuine, like, complex discussions in the area of, is this the right thing to do, you know? Should we be digging people up? But if we don't, we lose the knowledge, we lose that information, so it was worth doing. Spiders! I ain't gonna run out of pocket space again. Here, look. I've literally got 0 pocket space left, and now I've got a meter at Bane Ridge. That means I could beam home again and empty my pockets. She won't know. Basically, yeah. It's like it isn't about running in, grabbing a statue, and then running off whilst being chased by a giant ball. It's more about digging people's graves up and see what they're wearing. You know, look, this dead dude's wearing really nice trousers. Yeah, but it's a dead dude. You just dug his grave up. Yeah? You have to come to terms with the fact that you are literally just going to be disturbing graves for a living. Not only, obviously, there's lots more to archaeology than grave work, but it's part of it. You have to be okay with the concept that these people were laid to rest by people that loved them and wanted them to have a peaceful slumber. And now you've rocked up. That's not going to be the case anymore. It's just there's no one around. It's basically, it's the whole, if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? I'm like, yeah, because sound, the function of sound still happens, even if there's no one there to hear it. It's the same sort of concept, yeah. If you dig a grave up and there's no one left to mourn that person, does it matter? Kinda, yeah. Kinda. But then kinda no, and I did it. I dug up an Anglo-Saxon. No Anglo-Saxons came at me and tried to cancel me, to be fair. I would be surprised if Anglo-Saxons started creeping out of the woodwork like that's our relative. Partly because that would have been like some sort of skeletal apocalypse. It would be like The Walking Dead, but like well old. I don't need this sword. I'm not idea why I'm keeping it, but it would work with one of my other characters. But they have to be level 80 to equip it, so it's kind of stupid to keep it, but let's do it. Let's be stupid. Exactly, the place there by loved ones. They were giving a final resting place. Final, you say? Final-ish. Well, where are they now? In a box, in a drawer, in a museum. So their loved ones wanted them to end up in a box in a drawer? No. No, they didn't. But that's where they are. I've looked through drawerfuls of skeletons, and you realise that if you take the mindset that they're data and they're interesting, it is fascinating. But every now and then your brain goes, yeah, but you know that's a person though, don't you? What nonsense is this? That drawer with people in it, it's literally a drawer with people in it. These are skeletons. They were people. Nah. It's data. It's data that's people-shaped. It's important data that's importantly people-shaped. I met a guy who was a bone specialist. His nickname was literally Bones in the archaeological world because he was a bone specialist. So he'd spent his life studying bones. And if you're nerdy enough, it is fascinating. But that does mean it's a bit like being a crime scene detective for a crime that happened hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. Because you can look at bones and you can see how they died. You can see like there's axe marks in this one's head. Probably got axe to death then, I'd guess. This one's got an arrow lodged in his neck. Let me guess. Was he killed by an arrow to the neck?
I didn't do this for you, you know. Said I did, but you know better.
CSI old.
Skill that now. Can't imagine I'll rile him so. Oh, please. Take the goose back to her nest.
So she's given me the... We did all that killing so that she'd give me back the signpost. Brilliant.
Tavish. Just one more.
Yoink. Now I've got to carry a stupid goose sign with me all the way back to a pub. Because you wanted to go on a giant sojourn around the area murdering goosemen. Goosemen? Goatmen. It's just a regular goat. How does that work? That's a goat in an area full of goat men. Now I'm beginning to question how goatmen exist. Wait, they've got goats, they have men, and they have goatmen. Answers on a postcard. How did goatmen... This guy, he's dead, but how did this guy come into existence? When in this area they have goats, and they have men. Curious. No one could probably work it out. I mean, it can get lonely out in the middle of nowhere. Hello. Alright, I've got your stupid sign. Here it is.
Tavish is dead. Oh, damned beasts. The goose won't be the same without him. And Nairn. They're why the goose stays open. Even during the hardest times.
Are you saying that Tavish and Nairn are such alcoholics that the reason why your inn stays open is they were propping it up with their habit? What a charming story this has been. It starts off with someone stealing because her friend died. We then had to go murder a bunch of people to help her place daggers in places. Daggers of all things, who knows why. And it finishes up with a bloke going, oh, those alcoholic gits were the only reason why my pub stays open. It's heartwarming. Now we're going to go here. I'm hoping, I keep seeing green things go up the screen. I'm hoping this is enough to get me to the next thing. What time are we on? It's now 20 past midnight, 23 past midnight. So I'm hoping, yeah, if I go on for a little longer, I might just get to the next tier of this triune thingamajiggy. The amount of killing you've got to do just to get to where you're going. See, the thing is, it's always the case, right? When anyone talks about anything, like Lord of the Rings, would you like to live in the Lord of the Rings world? Would you like to live in the Star Wars world? Or a perennial question when I was younger, actually, when they were both like in the height of their popularity, which would you rather live in, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings? And the assumption is that you'd be a Jedi, or you'd be something like Aragorn, or, you know, something cool, or a Gandalf. The reality is, the majority of this would be the guy that clears up the dung to the weird creature that the Jedi are going to ride off on in a bit. Or, would be the guy in Lord of the Rings that had to clean up after the battles, like putting bits of soldiers in bags and stuff. We would have the shit jobs. Hey, and someone said it about on Twitter about the Space Marine. Like, if you... Everyone imagining that in the Space Marine 2 game that they would be one of the Space Marines, when probability suggests they're far more likely to be one of the poor people in the background with a broom, human-sized people getting killed by Tyranids while the Space Marines are running around acting all cool. So when people say, would you have liked to have lived in the past? Well, you're assuming by that question that the answer would be based on me being a knight or a king or something. If I lived in the past, I'm probably going to be the guy that's got to tread in dog shit to make leather. And that's not a joke. That's literally how they used to tan leather in the past. They get a mix of dog poo and pee in a big trough, and then put cattle skins in it, and then just use their bare feet to tread it into the leather to tan the leather. That'd be my luck. I'll get sent to the ancient past, and I'll be like, yay! Finally get to live in this medieval hellhole where I spend my days walking in animal feces. as an actual job. Imagine going to the pub at the end of a long day's work. And your feet stink of animal crap. So, all right, Bob, can you go and sit in the pub garden? But it's raining. Yeah, but everyone else in here doesn't want you to sit in the pub. Can you sit in the pub garden? You fucking stink, mate. Sign up. No stinky feet Bob in here. Come on. We should stop and skin the bears. I'm sure the leather would come in handy. Zoom! Coming through, murdering on the way. You stop building these things. I just have to come and blow them up anyway. You might as well stop building them. What have I got to do here? I should have read before I got it. Blah blah blah. Demons roam the heroes. Blah. I should search there for demon adequate. Oh, I'm gonna find a big demon. Brilliant. I'm not sure how one goes about looking for a large demon in an area full of demons. I'm pretty sure they'll just come to me. Now I'm leaving the area. Right, now yoinked all your goods. Hang on, is that goods? That is goods. I nearly didn't yoink their goods. Yoink. Doesn't look like a very spacious area to search in. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've not got a lot of space to look in. Off to bed. Happy Demons Day. Well, thanks for being here, Judge. Have a good one. Oh, I bet it's up here. Zoom. There you go. That's a big demon. I bet you that's the one. Let's freeze his balls. Murder him a bit. Yay! That was the one. Just break all their crap while I'm here. Oh, I thought he was still alive then. He's not. He's sinking into the ground. Ooh, what's this? Let's break this. Free things. More goats. These goats don't seem to. They don't seem to care. Oh, that one's dead. That was accidental. Just random goat murder. Where am I going anyway? All back to the same pub. Oh, it's good that they end the day in the pub. It's quite realistic. A lot of Brits end their day in the pub. Yoink. It's my random explosions that accidentally kills wildlife. Zoom! One of the I was talking about earlier, the skeleton I actually dug up, the Anglo-Saxon. It's quite an interesting story. I've probably told it like a bajillion. I can't even speak words anymore. Bajillion times on my stream because it just comes to my mind frequently. But I was on this dig and we dug up an Anglo-Saxon burial. It was quite a shallow grave, and they were laying in their fetal position, which is where you like lie on your side, your head tucked towards your knees raised up to your chest, and your hands like in front of your face, kind of splayed out. And we noticed that this fetal skeleton, it was a full-grown adult, but I mean in the fetal position, had a finger missing. And they had been buried in a shallow grave, basically. Whoever dug the grave, definitely wasn't 6 feet under. It was probably almost on the surface, basically. And then a few feet away, we found the finger that was missing. And it had pig teeth marks in it. And so because it was a little sort of, like a farm, a small holding, basically, what probably happened is a member of the farm family had died. And they'd buried them quite shallow because it was just like they'd bury them in the yard. And then their pig had rooted out the body and eaten the finger.
This will show that smug bastard. Wait a second. This looks nothing like Marek's. Why, that lying bastard. I bet he's been parading around a goat horn.
A goat horn.
Kill him.
So we basically went to get him a real demon horn so that he could show off to his friend, who's also got air quotes demon horn that turns out is actually a goat horn. We just risked our lives just to help this guy basically show off, is what we're saying. Nice. What the hell's that? This is a wand. It looks like it was barely been formed. It's still got roots on it. They just pulled up a tree and wrapped a bit of cloth around it. It's lazy wand making. Well, now we've done all that. I currently have no quests left. I might go back to Zibber. Or I might go here. That expires in... Right, no, let's go... Press all the buttons. Yeah, let's go straight there. We might better get it in time. It's just that in 13 minutes that runs... I've lost where it is now. That runs out, but that's going to give me more of the mother's doodah, which is the real term. Where the hell... Is that it? That's the closest place to go here. Apparently. Fine. I need more green stuff. He even told me then at the bottom of the screen, you get Mother's Gift by doing this. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I've been doing. I don't need reminding to do what I'm currently doing. Coming through, don't mind me. No need to attack me. Yeah, move aside. No, nobody wants you. Nobody likes you. Go away. You smell. I think this is the one I went to earlier on today, actually. I think it's just respawned. Yeah, you all get free death then. Fine, if you're going to make it difficult for me to get in the door. Free death. Everyone dies. There we go. My vape battery's running low and I can't be asked to change it. Oh, what a start. You get a rather busy screen all of a sudden. The good thing is that when you reach the next level of Mother's Tribute, it does actually roll over. So when you've maxed out a level, it doesn't stop collecting experience. And so when I do collect it, there'll be a little bit added to the next level, which I quite like. I don't like it when you basically see these. If you reach your limit, I don't like grinding more of it for no reason. Basically, it doesn't easily show you what your current level is. Boom. Oh, you're all bringing them back to life. I wonder what was going on. Whoa, you made me run away. I'm no coward. Whoa, the murdering's begun. Well, that escalated quickly. Zoom. Zoom. I like doing that teleport because it does extra damage. I've got like abilities that when you do that, look, it does extra lightning damage. You just dash towards them and it blasts them. Pow! These are nowhere near as easy with my like rogue, for example. My rogue's only level 30. And it doesn't do any of this constant area of effect damage that this character does. This character, for so far, has been the easiest one to grind with in this game. The constant output of area effect damage, where I'm just walking around and damage is just coming off me, makes this so much easier than the rogue. And I prefer rogues, typically. They're kind of my thing. But to try and do this same level, the same dungeon even, with a rogue, I'd have to actively fight my way through it, actively shoot everybody. So my rogue doesn't give off any just general damage as I'm walking kind of damage. Yeah, look. As I'm walking, I haven't pressed a button there. My body is just electric. I'm just hurting things by walking past them. That's a useful skill as well. The blood drops I drop that make them explode. They do a fair bit of damage. These things here, I'm generating them as I fight, and as I walk in them, look, they explode. Boom, boom, boom. Damage stuff around me. I should play a bit more of the rogue actually, because A, it's like I say, it's my favourite type to play, and B, I may be misjudging it based on how early I am in playing the rogue. It might just be that there is a lot more damage that a rogue can do. Ah, this is where I need to go. A lot more damage a rogue can do. I just haven't got that far yet to discover it. Ah, this is what I needed. Ruining your crap. Tra-la-la-la-la. Immediately ruined all your stuff. The thing I'm trying to edit requires a lot of different footage, especially the part I'm at right now. Sucks that stock footage is scarce. Well, yeah, this is the thing. I find that whenever I'm putting a project together, the limitations of what I can do are not just on my skill base, but they're on what's available, like for free. If I had spare cash, I would. You can buy subscriptions to stock footage sites, and then you can just download as much quality stock footage as you want. But they're not cheap, and if you're starting out, so you don't have the budget to cover that, it's a catch-22, because you need the stock footage to start out, but you can't get the stock footage until you're already doing well. It's like, Like I recently made a graphic, and it required a border and some fonts, and the fonts are always easy to get hold of free. But the borders of that style, there were very few free ones that actually matched the design idea. There were some really good ones that I thought were perfect for the design, but they were behind paywalls. And even if you search for the word free, they came up in the search for free, and it was free to look at them, but it wasn't free to use them, basically. It was like, okay, well, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean, can I look at it? I meant, can I use it? The moment you go to download it, it says, oh, you've got to have premium account to download this. And it's like, well, why was it in the free section then? It just meant it was free to be taunted by it. Zoom! Just the sheer damage. That's one of the reasons why I've grown to love this character, is I just walk along and everything around me is immediately... You can hear him screaming as I'm walking. Yeah, look. Oh! Oh! And basically ruining it for everybody's day, which is quite true to life. Ow! Dropping fire on me. Boom! Oh, this is where I'm supposed to be going to unlock. Well, I'm not yet. I need one more ether. What, one more etheric mass. I'm stuck. Yeah, get off. Here it is. There we go. Jobs are good. Have I missed anywhere? No, they're all covered. I was lucky enough to find footage on YouTube that was free to use and had Arab stuff, but not enough. That's yeah, it is an issue. I understand your pain there. I wish I had a suggestion of where to go and what to get, but I hit the same problem. I have these cool ideas. I'm like, wouldn't it be great if I did this? And then you go to do it, and it's like, you know, that's going to cost you about 60 quid to do, and I don't have 60 quid to do it. Then you just can't do that cool idea. I'm like, but I want to. I want to. Eventually, if I become flush at any point in the future, I'll get myself a subscription to a site, and then I'll be able to download what I want. It's kind of like one of the catch-22s. It's why you need money to start a business usually. You can do it without, and I kind of proved that when I did my business, where I basically got most of my progress in my business off the ground without any financial input. And so once I started acquiring things that my business needed, I acquired it from stuff I made. Kind of like how I'm doing my Twitch, actually. Rather than spending money on setting up my Twitch, I use my Twitch to fund my Twitch, basically. But it's not easy to do. It's much easier to start off with some cash in some format to get yourself off the ground. It just requires more work, basically, and some compromises, accepting some things that might be, and it's difficult. Particularly if you're like a perfectionist, you're like, no, I don't want it to look like this. Like, well, kind of, you have to have it look like that, and maybe upgrade it when you can. Free stuff! Now, we've done quite a bit, so I say we. It was mostly her. I might actually have enough farmed for the next level, so I'm going to go and check. Back to zombies, zobs. Wait, I'm level 85. I didn't even realize I'd leveled up. Let's not go back via fighting. Let's go back via quick and easy fast travel. If I had any clue where it was, I wouldn't have to scroll around the map all the time. Here it is. Doink. I said doink. Go there. I know my brother has been in your situation, right, with stock footage, but he ended up, I think it was Adobe that he ended up going. There are other companies out there. I'm not specifically saying Adobe's the best or the one you should use. I'm just saying that was the one he went with. And once you've got that subscription, it makes it a lot easier. But it is one of those situations where you basically have to get there. Oh, I've leveled it. Look. And there, look, 561 over. You basically have to do the best you can with what you can find until you can get that subscription. Right, let's not open it yet. Let's get rid of all this junk first. Is there anything that is close to something I might want? So, intelligence, maximum life. None of them seem to have the mana per second on it. It's the mana that I really want. Yeah, I'm losing too much for that one. That's almost exactly the same. It's the same armor level. Less intelligence. It's got 3 mana per second. No. Nah. Oh, that's better. But is it better? No, the intelligence is lower. No, it cost me too much to get it up to grade. Nah. And what does this do? We'll save that for later. Zoink. Shaboink. We'll put that one away so I don't accidentally sell it or something. You. I've always got to be careful when I'm carrying one of these that I don't accidentally click on that. Oh, it can't be sold. Ah, alright. I've been really careful so far not to click it, and it can't be sold anyway. SMRT. I totally pay attention. And most of the people who just start get stuff indirectly, yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's the only option.
I suppose I could take that off your hands.
Don't need these truths. I did not need your truth. Right. Right, let's see. The hell? That was insane. It was just non-stop pouring out of it. That was a lot. What did I get? Let me just switch this battery over. because I've just finally decided that I can be asked. And we'll have a good read and probably yeet it into my chest and forget I ever had it in the first place. That's basically the methodology I use. Imagine people outside America with their shit currently. Well, okay, the one upside, and for legal reasons, I'm not suggesting you should do this. But the one upside of not being in a place where they're more able to police that sort of thing is that you can acquire things with less risk, I suppose. So the resistance is better. The stats, I lose the stats. So no, basically. I don't use conjuration at all, so I don't need any of those ups. And the down is that I lose the 2% stat boost and resource boost again. So I'll save it for another character. What's this? Flame Scar. Unique Ancestral Wand. That's much lower, but this is designed for sorcerers that use a wand and a thing in the other hand. So I might at some point create a second sorcerer, because I've got a lot of things that are for like fire-based sorcerers, for example. And this is my electric or lightning-based sorcerer, so I might create another sorceress and make her a fire one instead. And for the rest of these, I don't care. I'm just going to get rid of all of those. Ooh, but the weapon. Let's have a look. Again, the maximum life's lower, intelligence low, damage over time is high. Unstable currents has 64% chance to cast an additional shock skill. That's at least interesting. Let's take it up here and see if I can glean that off it. I can't. Let's favourite that for now then. Get rid of these. I was hoping I'd be able to take that unstable currents off of it by trashing it, but I can't. Might be worth giving it a go at some point. I'll lose 100 intelligence and 40 life, but I gain more damage over time, and I use my unstable currents a lot. So that could be useful. It's just I like the percentage on this Brilliance of Abundant Energy. I've got a 98% chance to deal 40% extra damage, so although the damage says 2,466 to 3,698 per hit, you then add to that the crackling energy coming off me doing another 98% chance to do another 40% hit, so almost half as that again on top. So this extra 162 damage is nowhere near the same as effectively another like 1,500 damage or something that's coming off of that. So those all go in the chest to be ignored, and eventually they'll be trashed, and I forget why I ever put them in the chest. That's how that works. So where were we? I've got to get 16,800, but I'm getting close. I've only got 2 left to do. I can't even remember how long this thing's running for, but I'm still desperately trying to get the next level up of these trousers. I've had 2 lots. If I look in here and forget immediately where I put them. There you go. That was my first pair. And they were level 20. Now I've got another pair that are level 40. If I could get a pair that were at least level 60, that'd be great. But I'm in the 80s, so if I could get a pair that's level 80 or maybe a level 100, that'd be really great. Because they're really good trousers, and they progressively do more damage. So that was 341 armor. The new ones are 595. That was 13% chain lightning. This is 16.5. So you can see the better pair, the higher ranked pair, not only give me the extra armor I need, they also give me the extra boost on those percentages and stuff. And I'm just doing lightning all the time, so I really need better lightning trousers is what I'm trying to say.
Greetings.
Right, what are we on? It is now nearly 1 AM. What I could do is very briefly just switch over to my rogue to see where it's at and what I need to do. Because it's not worth me going all the way off. There's no way I'm going to get another like 15,500 lifey things, green things. I keep forgetting what they're called. Mother's Triune or Mother's Gift. Hey, how's it going? So yeah, what I'll do is I'll go back to here, I think it is. I'll switch to my rogue and maybe just put a little bit of progress in the rogue. I can't stay up too much longer because I'm trying to fix my incredibly broken sleep schedule. But this is my rogue. She's cute. She's cute. You've been lurking. Oh, thanks for lurking. It's gonna feel weird going back down to the rogue, because so far the rogue is actually a more active character to play. So far I've just been running around happily letting my sorcerer's power just murder everything. I forgot that when you unlock stuff for other characters, it unlocks for them all. Look. Hello. Does that mean I've got cooler outfits you could wear? Oh no, it doesn't unlock the outfits. Well, that's quite a nice outfit though. Where was I? I forgot what outfit I had on. Whoa. Oh, let's go back in. Let's discard. I forgot what I was wearing. So I'm wearing this kind of padded, braided thing. Is there an outfit she looks better in? Is the question. I mean, the primary function is that you got to look good. I have extra skill points in lurking on Twitch. You got skill points in there, have you? Did you rolled a high in charisma and lurking when you were creating your character? I've got a whole load of these now. I must have been like trashing outfits non-stop on the other character. Yes, you did. Yeah. I forget sometimes when you trash an outfit, it's not for the character you're currently playing. It's for, see, that's the one I'm currently wearing. It's for another character. So I've got a load of these that I didn't realise I had. I mean, I could just send her into tombs like this, but she'd looks a bit cold. Not that it's a problem. There you go. Nipping through tombs in the buff. Maybe later. I think she's alright. Let's discard. Let's just take her and just do like a mission or something. World Tier 1. I haven't been on World Tier 1 for ages. I forgot how long it's been since I played this character. Where can she go and what can she do? Why are all these things marked? Look. I've still got loads of mainline story to do. Look. Ooh, that does mean though, now that I've found more... I found all of these, but they're undiscovered, but I found them on my other character. I can just jump around and get some of these done. Let's do that. You skipped Diablo 4. I was just saying earlier, this is my first Diablo actually. So I've skipped literally all of Diablo up until 4. I've seen them around, but it came out when I was busy with other games or like busy in life doing other stuff. And so I just didn't get into it. And now that I've finally got 4, I realise what I've been missing out on. Basically, I'm really enjoying it. Part of the problem is well, I went through. You loved 3, did you? I've been advised to play 3 after playing this actually. This style of game I played a lot of when I was. Why are you following me? Am I doing a mission with this woman? I probably am. When I Oh, there you go. Spoil. Yeah, well, I forgot what the fuck I'm saying now. Oh yeah, I played a lot of this style of game, top down, leading them around. Back in the day before graphics were like this good, basically. And so to me, these games speak to me of like the 90s. And so I started avoiding them because I'm like, there are better games out now. Like you can play like first-person shooters and you can see through the eyes of the person that's shooting and all that sort of stuff. And I think I did myself a disservice by just discounting them all as now like #old. Because coming back to them, you realise obviously, I mean, it's obvious when you think about it. They didn't stick to the level of technology they were at in the 90s when I was playing this sort of game. They clearly improved them.
I'm low on energy.
And I'm going around acting like they're the same level, you know? Well, I'm really enjoying this. I'm like, I do wish you got to see your character a bit more often. Like, if I zoom in, that's the best I see of her most of the time. I spent ages creating my character, and now I just see the top of her head, and you can't, if you play at this scale, you can't see what's going on around you, so you kind of have to play at this scale up here anyway. So basically, I created a character to see a tiny version of herself at a small scale. So I wish there were more scenes in the game, or more parts of the game where you had to zoom down into your character, basically. But other than that, it's fine. I'm enjoying it anyway. I am going to still like level up all my different characters. I don't know if you just saw from my starting menu there. I've got one of each type. What is this flashing? Oh, it's telling me I should be up leveling. I make the sense when I do the wordings. I should be up leveling things. Why are you hovering here? What's going on? What? I'm getting murdered. Nope. Getting monster. Oh, I forgot you shared gold. I can just kid her out with everything. I should have looked in my freaking. I should have looked in my chest. I've probably got a load of stuff that would upgrade her. I just wandered off without even checking. I was doing something here. So I've got that. And I've got smoke grenade. What am I upgrading? I should upgrade these things first, shouldn't I? They're the stabby fighty ones. So I've upgraded puncture. I haven't upgraded an arrow going. Ah, here we go. No, I've already upgraded that one. I've already upgraded that one. Fine. Well, I've no idea what to upgrade next then. I'll wait. I put this character together from a guide that said this is quite a good set. And now I've forgotten what the build was. So I need to go back and check the guide to remind myself why the hell I put it together like this. Stab, stab, stab! Yoink. What I'll do, like I say, I am now like dangerously close to 1 AM. I'm giving this one a bit of gameplay, trying to get some XP into it. I will knock this mission off. I might do one other thing, and then I'll go and try and re-kit her out at some town, and that'll probably have to be it for tonight. Forward truths lie within.
Oh, I see. The path is different now.
I mean, so far in this, kinda. I always play rogues because I like the concepts. Like IRL, I've done like. This is the thing. Rogue is probably a misnomer because a lot of games, early games, rogues were roguish. They would steal things and whatever. They were good thieves and whatever. But some games they call a character a rogue because they're effectively the rogue class, but they don't do any stealing. They don't do anything dodgy. And you're like, are you a rogue then, or are you just a knife wielder? And it's just the irony. As if you look at what my rogue has and what these rogues have, so 2 short knives and some form of bow. So this one's currently got a crossbow, but you can get longbows as well. In my life, I'm doing a martial art called Wing Chun, where you learn how to fight with 2 short knives. And I spent my youth doing archery. And so for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm a rogue. I do a martial art that uses knives, and I'm an archer. Or I was an archer, at least. I'm probably well out of practice by now. So to me, it just suits me. I'm not the sort of person that goes nicking stuff. But it just rogue just made sense to me, to like the sort of things I do in my life. But in a lot of games, rogues aren't that roguish anymore. And I suppose in Star Wars, Han Solo is a rogue. Effectively. Slightly dodgy good guy, you know. This is the place.
Unexpected. But let's not give up hope.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I didn't read it.
Book, one spell to help us cross the Black Lake and stop Lilith.
I do know that you've got one range weapon, which is the that one. Oh, this is going to be a big dungeon if I remember correctly. That big blast I was just firing. And then the knives have reasonably close quarters. Like you can throw them from range like this, but they tend to work a bit better up close. Yoink. I've got a book. This is going to be a big dungeon. I've said I'll do a quick mission. What I've actually done instead was pick a freaking huge dungeon, as far as I remember. This may go horribly wrong. If it does, I can't play for another like hour or something.
And here, the same symbol on the door. I have an idea.
I have an idea. Open the freaking door.
Step back.
What a marvelous idea. I love the fact that Doggo nothing ever harms him. He can walk through like fire. He can be stomped on by demons. They don't even pay attention to him. He just walks through and picks stuff up. Oh, I remember. I attempted this mission before. I wondered how I remembered where that book was. I've attempted this mission before.
I wish Mother was here.
I think this is the one that went horribly wrong as well.
Wait for me.
We didn't wait for you in the same room. Crazy bin. I stood right next to you. Yeah, I remember now. She stays in here and I've got to go into this next room. which is frankly dodgy.
It's the same seal as before. Should be easy enough to break it again. But why would someone use it here?
Can't skip this dialogue either. Come on, I've done this already. Go, go, go.
Of course. We can't let anything stop our pursuit of Lilith. I'll open the door, and if we split up, we'll work faster that way.
Yeah, let's split up. You stay here, and I'll go and risk my life while you just read a book.
Fine.
Sounds fair.
What am I looking for?
Don't you know? A book, a scroll, or anything
small
that will help us
bucket.
cross the Black Lake.
To carry your guts home in. Let me through. Come on.
Chess beats shot.
Chess beats chut. That makes no sense. Oh, this is going to be a slog. Why did I do this? I should have picked something more sensible, but nope. I've picked this slog instead. Wait, is everyone dead from last time? I bet they're not. I bet they're all hiding. No, there you go. They're not.
Demons.
I forgot what my powers are with this one as well. Bam! There you go. That's what I want them. It's been a while since I've played this character. I'm completely out of touch with what she can do. One benefit though is you share your increases over your characters. So last time I did this mission I had about 3 healing potions if I remember correctly. Now I've got 9 because of the progress I've made on my other characters. Give me a whole load of progress on this one. Pow. Pow. Everyone gets shot. 3 shots in the face. It feels a lot more plebeian. A lot more like actual labour. You've just seen the dungeon I was in with my sorceress. Everyone would be dead already. She just walks through and everyone just dies around her. This one I've actually got to kill people. Like manually kill people like some sort of pleb. Look at this. Actually doing the work. Ah! What do you think of that? I dashed through your guts. Smash your crap. And like all this stuff in the corner. My sorceress, like electric power would just be smashing everything in the room and revealing it all. And now I've got to manually destroy it. Ooh. This is an odd room. Kind of half fallen down. Shot your wall. Now what? What are you going to do about that? The fact they've got these healing pots lying around is a bit worrying. No, no, no. Pow. It's been a long time since any other gear other than the I forgot the name of it. The level above ancestral. No, sorry, ancestral. The level above legendaries, which is ancestral. I actually answered myself. I've been looking at ancestral gear for so long playing that sorceress that I've forgotten that this character can't even wear it yet. There's a door. Here's a thing. It's a stuff that hurt. Oh, hello. Pow. I just went invisible randomly. I forgot that's what that button does.
Low on energy.
Quite nice bouncing off. Oh, it's so much slower being anything other than like amazing sorceress. I'm just going to keep singing the praises of my sorceress.
I'm out of energy.
Ow, quit it. I'm working on it. It's working gradually. What are these fire orbs doing? Why am I shooting the wall? I'm lost. I'm confused. Slowly working. Zoom.
I don't have enough energy.
Yay! We're the winners. What does this do? Yoink.
I should take this.
I stole your book. Run away! I'm assuming that takes me back to the start then. Well, I haven't finished exploring. Let's explore. Here's me saying I haven't got time to do this right now. I'm adding time. I just don't like not having finished a dungeon. I'll probably die doing this. I'll probably ruin the whole thing. But who knows? How am I throwing the 2 knives I'm carrying over and over? Surely once I've thrown them both once, I no longer have the knives. You would think. I thought that said burning dad for a second. I thought that's quite... it's quite apt, but kind of cruel. Ooh. I'm glad I walked back through that. Missed a bow. Nope. A rubbish bow, but I missed it. Right, all the way through here I missed it. Magic, exactly. Each time you throw them, they just magically appear back in your hand. Oh, is this why I missed it? Because you can't go through there. That'd explain it. And I've got this new book, and I bet the new book lets me in there. So I should probably have teleported back and just ignored this long-ass walk to pick up one bow.
I hope you had more luck than me.
Yep, I found a new book.
Interesting. This ledger was written by the Haradrim. This is chronicling spells and theories created by Rathma, the first necromancer.
That's not what we're looking for.
No. But it can still work. There must be a spell in this book we can use to bring my
That sounds totally safe. Definitely bring your mum back from the dead. When the last time we met your mum, she was trying to kill us both.
Meet me down there.
Sounds safe. Wait, was that the end? That was the end, but I don't get to go through that other door. Very safe, yeah. Last time we met her mum, she tried to kill us both, including her own daughter. So she's like, you know, I've got an idea. Bring back my murderous, insane mother. Oh, yeah, great, yeah, do that. So we don't get to go through here. What the hell? What the hell, man? I bet that teleport thing just takes me back to the start. I'm gonna go and try it just in case. But I bet it just takes me back to the start and doesn't open that door. You can't offer me half a dungeon and go, look, this tantalizing half of a dungeon. You can't have it. I'm like, oh, I want it. No, none for you. It does make the whole dungeon much quicker to complete because you can only go around half of it, but that's not satisfying. I'm a loot goblin. I need to steal everything, not just half of the stuff. I bet you this just takes me back to the start. I bet it doesn't work now. It stopped working. I walked all this way back for no good reason. Brilliant. Brilliant. Great. Thanks. Yeah. Wonderful. This is the meanest dungeon I've ever been in. Turns off portals. Oh, it says on it, let's study. Turns off portals. Doesn't let me go into the half of the dungeon. This dungeon's rude. I'm going to get back there the quickest by actually marking it so I know where I'm going. Oh, it doesn't do it. It doesn't mark it. Brilliant. Just puts a nail in it. It's quite possibly the rudest dungeon I've ever seen. I wonder if that probably means I've got to come back here at some point, but it still sucks that I can't go through there now. Because I want to go through there now! Stupid locked door. I'm leaving. Why am I doing all this walk when I can... Nope, there's no stairs on that. Usually in a dungeon they've got a stair marker that you can just escape via. Oh, I've got more. I just ignored the conversation as well.
Demons? How is that possible?
What do you mean, how is it possible? You've seen demons all over the place.
Horadrim. They're secretive, but would never follow such a path. You mean that we found Rothma's book here, and Lilith's going after him?
On the mantelpiece there, above the fire, some sort of brain in a jar.
Where immortals are involved.
Oh, the mouse is gone. There it is.
We still need a blessing. Perhaps the cathedral could help. You should visit Prava.
You should visit Prava. Well, that was fascinating. I'm going. You mean? Now what? Oh, that's where she wants me to go. I haven't unlocked that yet. I could go there. Or I could do what I said earlier. Given that it's now 1:15, I could go to Kyoba Shed and see if I've got anything worth putting on this character now already. From my big chest of useless things I keep for no reason. I'll sell the junk I've currently got because I think it is all junk. Yep. Yeah, it's all lower level than what I'm wearing. Oh no, I'll trash that one. Doink. So all of these that are locked are level locked, all these with an X on are for a different character. I bet you like 99% of this stuff is going to be stuff I just can't use anyway. Or it's going to be lower tier than what I'm wearing. Dash spine. Ooh, let's have a look. 33 dexterity, 34, so shadow step duration goes up. What are these? Mitruse. You gonna lurk? Well, thanks for being it. I'm gonna be finishing soon. I'm just gonna check out my gear and then I should probably go. Like I say, it's 1:15 in the morning. I should think about not sitting up all night playing around with this game. Yeah, most of this I can't put on this character. I think basically once I switched to Sorcerer, I started getting rid of anything that I didn't need for the Sorcerer, which included a whole bunch of rogue gear that I didn't need. Ooh, actually, this one. Whole load of extra armor. Plus 25 life per second. And plus extra life. We'll take those out. Oh, you can just think sleepers for the dead and muster on. No, I'm trying to fix it. My whole day was like effed up by my sleeping pattern again. I know that's a surprise to you. You'd be like, really? I never expected that. But if I don't work on fixing it, I'll just be stuck with a broken sleeping schedule, and it's not helping me. Yeah, most of this is trash that I can't wear. All of this is like dungeon gear. Healing on that one. Is that what that does? Yeah, healing. So literally out of the whole set, I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 6 tabs of crap in my stash. There was one thing that might help me out. Excellent. Extra armor, extra life, and extra healing does work though. Does work for me. Can you help me, jeweler lady? So what I had in there was the skull ones. Can I add sockets? Let's do it. Oh, I did it to the wrong one. Oh, god damn it. They're the ones I'm already wearing. dumbass. I've just wasted a crystal and a load of cash. Fine. Do another one. So the skulls give you plus 75 armor. Oh no, the healing. They give me the healing. So if I make one of those... now that already covers what that one's got. Then what else can I have? Barrier generation. Willpower. I can't even remember what my good skills... Oh, dexterity is what I need on this one. Intelligence, don't need it for this character. It's okay for your rogues to be done. Oh, extra dex. Maybe a chipped emerald. What else? Strength. And maybe I should put some into strength, actually, given that strength does help your armor and your resource generation. And I've got 321 in dexterity and only 68 in strength. Strength is a top choice so far. And what does Rui do? Maximum life. And what did this do again? Healing received, yeah. So let's go for strength. Doink. There we go. Let's see. So we'll watch. My current armor is 1714. Boom. My life's gone up. My armor went up quite a chunk for 200. And it hasn't affected my attack power. That's cute. Put those in there to be forgotten forever. We gave her a little boost. Yes. Let me just have a look what I have left to do for this character. I've got a load of the yellow stuff. I'd already finished all these on my sorceress, which is why I'd forgotten they even existed. I wasn't planning on spending like a hell of a... Like, I've got to go and unlock all these yet. What I might do then, off stream, so that it's not boring for you, I'll just take my rogue to the nearest place to each one of these. And, like, literally just beam there, run there, run there, run there. Just go around and unlock all these places, and it will make completing these quicker because I can just jump from place to place then. Seems like a good plan, but for now I should finish. Oh, I have no idea what I just did, but I did it. What's this? Oh, smouldering ashes. I forgot I got that. Salted governor. Wait, so it's the same smouldering ashes works for both. I see. That... Oh, get off. That does mean... It, let me just go to... God damn it, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Blah, 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 blah. Can I find Zarby's Arbs? Oh, I haven't even been to Zarby's Arbs yet. So yeah, I can't even go there and check. I didn't know whether there's any of that Triune of the Mother thing that I can do with this character, but I haven't even been there yet. So maybe not. And it's not showing up in the list here, so maybe it only works for the Sorceress. Fine. I'll stop dicking about and I will end. I'm going to go to my ending screen. No, I'm apparently going to have my... No, that was not acceptable. Right, I'm going back to live. No, you can't just do it late. Do the... There we go. I was going to not even bother with the animation. My animation is just playing up. It refuses to play properly. But that's fine by me. I don't need an animation. That's me done for today. I'll be back on again next Sunday, 9 PM GMT. Hopefully, like today I was slightly late because I had some issues. I had one of the computers I used to run this stream just wouldn't turn on. It took me a while to get that to work. And then I got everything set up and the game needed an update, so I had to wait through the update as well. So hopefully next week I'll be on time. And I'll actually check those things early enough so I don't have to sit there fixing them during normal stream time. But until then, thanks for being here and good night.